at the bar, you know Mel Chauncey loses his mind. I'm fucking young right now.
Here we go. What's up? Back in black. Rob Zilla's back in the house. Yeah. Everybody's wondering where you've been.
Brad, I'm wondering right now why you chose Back in Black to open up.
Because he's back and he's wearing black.
Oh, my genius.
Well, you didn't come up with... The only song you want to hear is Lonesome Loser, because Jay still hasn't shown up here. Every time I ask him, what song do you want to hear? Lonesome Loser. Lonesome Loser.
It's just a catchy tune, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, welcome back. Pumps is going to sit here and jerk himself while we do this. Brought us some nice new shirts.
Real nice.
Delray Misfitsgear.com. When are they going to be available, Pumps? When's the pre-sale? Sunday. Tentatively Sunday.
Did you guys know today is National Tattoo Day? July 17th.
I thought it was National Hot Dog Day.
It's National...
Is that a Freudian slip?
No, somebody said at work. No, I heard somebody at work say it was National Hot Dog Day.
according to Tony Kornheiser, it's National Tattoo Day.
You know, I'm getting sick of this shit. Every day is a National Something Day.
National Beat Your Wife Day.
National Donut Day. They have a day for everything.
That's all well and good, bad, but the question
Bad.
I've been asking, why are you still covered in tattoos?
What do you mean, why am I still covering them? So I can't walk around naked all day, Leonard, like you. I know you want me to, you fucking homo.
Oh, gee, Brad. I just want one explanation for the tattoos.
The new one?
You get no
New one?
You get,
oh, yeah.
You get no explanation.
Show him the new one. It'll be entertaining.
He's seen it. He saw it at the hospital. He's like, what's the big deal? You have tattoos everywhere. Who gives a shit? But see, he won't say that on mic or on camera. He's got to act like a fucking tough guy when he's got the camera in front of him. Or the microphone.
Camera? Where's the camera?
Or the microphone. Yeah. Whenever you're being recorded.
I don't see one camera here. Another Freudian slip. Unless there's hidden cameras we don't know about.
Well, Rob Zilla was showing us some hidden camera videos before we started this. What's the guy's name again?
Oh no, we planted some cameras in the marshal's bathroom. I was showing them what we found. Ed Bassmaster. He's comedian. There's nothing really worth talking about here, but that's all.
He does like what Cassidy does. Or Cassidy does like what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Cassidy's videos a lot. I know you guys,
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I know you like seeing Johnny in them now, too.
I haven't seen him in any of them.
No.
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, Johnny Bravo. I want to know what his beef is. I didn't even watch that. My roommate sent me that video one day. It said, like, Johnny Bravo talking shit about Rob Zilla or whatever, and I was having a bad day already at work. I was like, man, this guy's lucky he does not live in Florida.
What do you mean you don't know where it started? The first podcast you came on here, you were calling everybody out.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm allowed
blame
to
it on
shit,
the alcohol.
Have another drink, Rob.
What? Overexcitement? Yeah, overexcitement, that's all. But yeah, I don't know what I said to him that was so offensive,
I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. Do you remember, Leonard? You got a good memory.
No.
Right away, I'm getting fucking Snapchat calls.
I've lost it on a few fans over the month. Like some of them that I was dumb enough to give my number, they'll call me. And one kid sent me this long ass message saying like, you're friends with Leonard. It's your job, and if you're not going to do it, I'm going to call an ambulance to go to his house and pick him up. And
I
all
got
this
the same
shit.
message.
Yeah,
I got the
I was
same
like, "Are
message.
you out of your fucking mind?" I was like, "If you do that, I don't know. It's just."
When was
pissed me
this?
off.
Before he was
Like a
hospitalized.
month, yeah, like a month ago.
Well, that's what we got Mike T for.
Yeah, appreciate it, Mike, and everybody else.
This was around the time the last video you shot for the Lenny Show channel, and people
Yeah,
were
right,
saying his
yeah.
abdomen looked unusually large. So,
Like always.
yeah.
That always happens when you bulk, though. It's every single year. The same shit really happens.
GH
Yeah.
draws water. It causes a lot of water retention.
Leonard's phone's been blowing up since he got here.
But I mean,
Put it on silent.
I don't know. It's not really my place to get involved in that way. He's an adult.
You're right.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Leonard?
Didn't he challenge you to a fight or something?
Who?
Bravo?
Oh,
Or were you
I was challenging him. He releases this video talking shit. I didn't even see it. I don't want to see it. I don't care to see it. It's just going to piss me off even more.
Yeah.
So it's, it's one thing if you're going to,
Face.
yeah, that type of corny deal, But you all know how it's going to work out. He's going to come down here and, it's all in good fun. I'm just fucking around. And then just shake hands and, what am I going to do? Be an asshole and just start laying into him? If you guys want to send me some money, I'll do it.
Well, I mean, didn't he have beef with Mark Lobliner, and then when those two met, they
Well,
were
it's
fine?
the same shit that Leonard does whenever he challenges
Right.
somebody and meets them in person, and then everybody's fine.
Yeah, listen, I apologize for that podcast where I was drunk talking shit about everybody. A lot of people didn't deserve that. And, I never met Johnny Bravo. It wasn't my place to start talking shit about somebody I never met. I apologize for that. But that's about it. That's another reason why I kind of backed away from this whole ordeal is I don't know what it is, but once we start doing videos, it's real tempting to start ripping into people. And that's really just not who I am.
Well, that's what happens when you get into the comment section, too. You got to stay out
right.
of there. So where you been? Everybody wants to know.
I've just been working. I had a job that was making me go all over the state for a sales job and whatever, and was working like 6 days a week, 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, and then in my off time I had to do the lift so I could continue to have the car. You got to do 20 hours a week doing that, so it was impossible. I had no free time for absolutely. I wasn't even going to the gym.
Shit.
But whatever. I mean, you got to do what I got to do to make it down here. But yeah, that job is not going to work out. So I pretty much told them to go fuck themselves. And I got to find something else now. So right now I have a little bit of time to get back into the gym. Hopefully start doing the show with Leonard again. I need a cameraman. Yeah, I can film it, but we got to figure some shit out and then get it rolling again. Because the cameraman moved back to, yeah.
Well, McLeod will be back here soon. Maybe you got McCuck. McCuck will be here in a few weeks, I think.
Yeah, that
No
would be good.
kidding.
He's a good cameraman.
Yeah,
In modern day Winston Churchill, right,
yeah.
Leonard?
Wow, good for him. Just in time. Just in time for the new school year.
Yeah.
Probably a little less traffic and probably a little cooler with the ocean breezes down here. Up in Tampa, I heard it's a hellhole with that
It's a
heat.
shithole. Tampa's a shithole.
Yeah, Tampa does suck. No, thank you.
I just don't see Adam McLeod as Tampa. He's like a lot more upscale.
Well, wasn't he down here and then one up there?
Yeah, stop holding on to the fucking cord. That's when the thing crackles, man. Jesus Christ. Hold it like the goddess's pecker in your mouth.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Goddess Candy. She wants to set up her new Instagram page. I said I knew just the person to help her, and he's sitting at the stable.
Who's Candy?
The Goddess from Fort Lauderdale. I just stopped by to say hi. Because I was on
That's her-
Broward Boulevard earlier.
Is that Patrick?
Take the big Lenny.
No, that's not the same one.
Yeah, she specifically said.
Candy?
Yeah, that's her real name. Yeah, stage name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else. What's its Instagram?
No, she wants to get it changed to Goddess Candy. And I said I knew just the guy to do it.
Yeah, but what is it now?
I don't know. She's,
Oh, you're a real
she's
fucking
not
help,
getting much
like
traffic,
always.
but she wanted to do a video clip, and I said I'll do it. It'll be pretty creative and entertaining, I'm sure. Like a little, 1-minute Instagram deal, just to get her.
She's putting a steamy fucking load in your face,
No, nothing explicit like that.
shitting on you in
And I
her
was thinking,
backyard.
Brad's was saying on this podcast actually for years that he would never lick ass. He would never lick ass. Now he did it. So you know what the next step is.
Here we
Although I
go.
beli's
He's gonna
already
be
he's
on
already
me
into
tonight.
that
I
now,
knew
I
it.
believe,
I knew
but he just wouldn't admit it. But he'll be like saying,
Water sports.
water tranny sports.
Never.
I'm sure he'll be announcing that pretty soon too. So stay tuned, viewers.
Stay tuned.
I'll kill myself before I fuck a tranny
Why?
because it's disgusting, Leonard. I'm not a
So-
faggot like you.
Kill yourself for that? That's pretty dumb. Just a reason for suicide, Brad.
No interest.
But to kill yourself? That's pretty.
Which I won't do either, so it doesn't
Brad, you
matter.
wanna get Baker acted?
No, Jason does.
Yeah. I shouldn't say that.
I opened up a can of worms yesterday. I was showing him skipthegames.com. It's a new form of Backpage.
What's it called?
Skipthegames.com.
Skip the
Write it
games.
down. Yeah.
You
My
open
buddy
up-
used it.
I think you opened up a can of worms for yourself, Robzilla. The can of worms was open for me by the time you were in Pampers.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, luckily, luckily at this point, it's either get a prostitute for a half hour or eat for the next few days. So I can't do that. But soon enough, yeah. And I will admit, I showed him. I'm gonna catch shit for this one, but I showed him a tranny on there, and if it wasn't for that little extra piece, you would never know.
Well, that's how a lot of that shit is.
So with the extra piece, you're getting an extra bonus. It's like I said to Brad and other people a million times.
You're not going to convince me to fuck a tranny, Leonard.
Yeah.
You're not going to
You
convince
can
me.
only use one hole at one time, but then, you could do other things with that. You can get your prostate stimulated instead of having some
All right, let's
having
go.
some girl on Bumble stick their fingers up your nasty ass every day.
Nobody sticks their fingers. Nothing goes
Nobody.
up my nothing goes up my ass,
The
Leonard.
Bumble
except
dildos.
except the doctor.
Oh.
All right, let's go to Club Atomic. Let me just share some of that shit you got tonight. We'll do it. Fuck it.
Another night, not tonight.
Oh, okay.
It's not good tonight. It's good Fridays and Saturdays. Stay open at 8 though. It's late. It's far too, but
Did you
we'll
go
do
there?
it. We
Did
should
you-
do it.
Did you
Film
go,
it.
Did you go there this past weekend?
No, I'm in mourning. No.
When is that service?
The wake, I guess they consider that as, I have to find out, it's where you used to live close to that Woolbright and Federal. It's a Friday. It should be Friday evening.
Well, there's a cemetery over there.
Yeah. And then the church is
Oh, I know where you're talking about.
up in Lake Worth on the end
I think you're talking about. I think it's
near Publix.
I think it's on Boynton and 8th.
I found out my father's older sister lives in that area. She's been living there for 10 years. I had no idea.
You're finding all your family all of a sudden. Have you ran into your uncle lately?
I saw him, but I didn't want him to see me. I saw him on the treadmill over there. We didn't see him last night, though. I was there with Rob.
What do you mean you didn't want him to see
I
you?
didn't want him to see me. I just didn't want him to see me that day because I was all bloated with water. My Uncle Dennis,
When's the last time you saw him? Oh, he's swigging that shit.
26 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
That's what, your father's brother?
Yeah,
He goes to Palm Beach Gym.
Oh, shit.
yeah. Still teaching physics at FAU, and he's in his 70s. Guess he'll never retire.
So she's gonna have a wake. She's not being cremated then.
I have no idea, but I'll probably start bawling.
I hate those fucking wakes. Shit is barbaric.
I've never really been to one.
No?
No, the only funerals I did was when I was a Catholic altar boy for other people. But my grandmothers had passed. I was down here. I never went up there. So.
My grandmother's service a few weeks ago was pretty easy. It was 30 minutes. That was it.
Where
She
was
had
it?
she had already been cremated at the church she always went to, and then they put her in the wall next to my uncle's ashes. It was quick and easy, painless. Yeah, she died that morning of the podcast we did with Cynthia.
Wow.
She's 93.
Yeah.
You know, saw it coming. She broke her shoulder back in March. She fell, broke her shoulder. The fucking doctor gave her a full shoulder replacement. Fucking 93 years old. Then she went into a rehab and just
That's easy money.
fucking withered away.
Easy money.
Yeah, she was miserable. What a way to go. What were you going to say?
No.
You want to tell the viewers when your shoulder procedure's being taken?
August 21st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope you got to buy a good recliner chair to sleep in.
The couch there,
Yeah.
the end, turn
Okay.
into recliners.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that'll help.
That's where you'll be sleeping.
I know. I'm ready for it.
I'm drinking vodka straight, unlike Daiquiri Dale back in the.
Where's that vodka from? Is that the Hamburg vodka?
Matt got that for me now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I wanted to ask you last week? Did you watch the ESPYs?
Not enough cable.
You don't?
Not even basic?
No.
Oh, I was going to ask because I wanted to know whether or not you saw what Odell Beckham Jr. was wearing at the ESPYs.
I didn't watch.
You didn't
that.
see what he was
Mm-mm.
wearing? Everyone was talking about it and how they talk about how stylish he is, very stylish. He looked
Well-
like a fucking moron.
Was he wearing those
Yeah.
pants that look like
Hold
he's ready
on.
for a flood?
No, I'll find it. Hold on.
That
a
was
second.
popular for a while. Those guys wearing pants that would like go down to the middle of their calf.
You know, I'm the last person to be talking about anybody's sense of style with
Or-
my
People that fold up the bottoms of their pant legs.
What's wrong with that?
You know, unless you're a farmer or
Waiting
something.
for the flood.
Oh.
Let me find a picture of it.
Yeah, like we're ones
Hey,
to
it
make
came
fun of
2
somebody's
weeks ago.
fashion. Sure.
Hell, it was flooded 2 weeks ago. Bad. It was raining so hard.
Well, Odell Beckham's he's gay, right? He's admitted homosexual, isn't he?
No,
Oh.
I don't think so. There are a lot of rumors about Dwight Howard, but
But
not Odell
I
Beckham
can pretty
Jr.
bench guarantee 60% of them.
Okay, this is what he wore to the ESPYs. And for anyone out there,
Oh, for fuck's
Look-
sake!
especially if you live in Europe or wherever, look up Odell Beckham Jr. 2019 ESPYs. And keep in mind, everyone wears suits. Some people wear tuxedos, dress very nicely. The women all look amazing. They're dressed to kill. And look what this schmuck wears to the ESPYs.
He looks like a first grader that dressed himself for the first day of school.
What is that?
What in the fuck? I mean,
And they're ranting about that being stylish.
Yeah. You know, like when Russell Westbrook wears some outrageous
Yeah,
outfit that
the,
looks moronic, they talk about,
It's what
Sense of
JFK
style.
Jr. wore at his dad's funeral when he was a 4-year-old. I had that same outfit too. I'll actually get a picture of it one of these days from my mom's and put it on Instagram. You'll love it. I had curly blonde hair.
guy
get
makes
the fuck out of here. Yeah.
$20 million a year, and that's how he goes to this, this award ceremony dressed.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, I look at the old NFL films videos of the brothers in the 60s and 70s, and they all, for the most part, looked and dressed professionally. The wide receivers of the day, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth with their suits, Charlie Joyner. Not like this.
Yeah, I don't fucking get it. It's like when they do the runway models that wear all that outrageous weird shit
Yeah.
that they don't wear on they just wear it for the show. Whatever. These guys are idiots. They'll go out and get DUIs too in their fast cars when it used to be a thing to get a fucking limousine.
Yeah.
You make enough money, get somebody to drive you around. Any wealthy person that gets a DUI is a complete fucking imbecile.
Well, they like to get their hand behind the wheel, have some speed.
What do you think about Shawn Rhoden?
I know what he was thinking. that incident took place, which none of us knew about. He kept it very secret.
It happened back in October last year.
Last year. That was a month after the Olympia. He won the Olympia. What he did was went off those anti-estrogens, which kill your sex drive, and he was probably on them good 3 or 4 months minimum, and he probably started eating like a pig and got incredible sex drive, and he said, "Oh, I'm Mr. Olympia. I got girls that would kill to be with me." So he was just sitting there, and this girl came in, looked pretty hot.
Well, no, it's supposedly a woman he knows that he trained.
That is married, came into his bring him coffee, and the part I don't get is, I hate to say it, but
So
none of us will ever think of this, but having a girl come in a hotel room, even your house by yourself, not a good idea in this day and age.
So do you think he raped her?
I think he tried to have sex with her, but then they said, I was told she has his DNA in her, which is fine. I believe they had sex. But she comes out saying that he forced her, and then there's a laceration. Now, I'm going to speak to Andrew. The closest thing to a medical doctor we have is a misfit.
That's scary. Go ahead.
I was told that when a girl doesn't want it, they don't become wet. And I guess some of you at this table may have
Going in dry.
may buy lube, because that probably happens in most of your most cases. You're going to cause some type of damage. Is that true?
If there's no lube, you're probably more likely to cause tears than if.
But is it because she's not turned on? That's why she's not having her natural secretions?
Sure, like your dick's not going to get hard if you're not turned on. It's the same principle.
Well, she was a bodybuilder too, so you don't know what type of shit she was on that was messing with
Yeah,
her.
and that's could avoid the secretions, but
I just don't like the guilty until proven innocent.
He hasn't
bullshit.
been convicted. He's just accused.
Yeah.
he
Yes.
was removed as an Olympia competitor.
Right, which is bullshit.
David Pecker from American Media does not want him. And by the way, David Pecker and Donald Trump are very good friends.
What an appropriate name.
Yeah.
David Pecker.
Well, he's the guy that was behind the National Enquirer as well. But he specifically said that, and he has every right to do so, he doesn't want that type of negativity with his company. I don't think it's going to kill him, because, that he's behind the Olympia now. It's not Joe Weider, it's American Media.
So he doesn't mind a bunch of guys filling themselves to the eyeballs with drugs, but if they get accused of rape,
Yeah, they look the other way. I mean, but
at least let them be found
I mean,
guilty
look at
or
all the
innocent
top
first.
stars
Yeah,
that
but
aren't
the
gonna-
the
supposedly aren't gonna do the
steroids
Olympia.
steroids have been accepted.
I heard
from-
Phil Heath probably wasn't going to do it. Big Ramy dropped out.
Oh no shit.
Rhoden's out. So, I mean, that's
That
going
leaves room for Jason to slide
Yeah,
right
yeah,
in.
there you
And
go.
You too, Leonard.
yeah, you guys should enter it.
I'll do it too.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to remove a lot of fan interest, but I don't like, he wasn't taking precautions, but I don't like the idea of facing and having your life totally ruined. A possibility of life in prison.
Yeah, it's just one rape.
Well,
Jesus
What?
Christ.
rape and sexual assault, there's a very broad general terms. You have to look at the specifics of it. And what's going to be his word against her word? Lacerations, it's possible she could lacerate herself.
So since it happened in October, do you think she was fishing for a settlement before she went public with it?
No, I believe she went, I heard she went public, she went to the authorities immediately.
Oh really? Okay.
But it takes a good 6 to 8 months for the DNA test. I mean, this is a very extensive test, and that takes a long time.
Really?
Before they can finally say this is conclusive and be able to formally press charges. You can't just,
I didn't think it would take that long.
yes, it does take
Wow.
that long. So that's why he
Well,
kept it
even if
secret.
his DNA is inside her, that doesn't prove he raped her forcibly.
Right.
I mean,
She could have got the lacerations by just looking at pictures of Dale while she masturbated. That would dry her up real quick.
And I'm something you said that maybe Dale sent her the trophies and she fucked herself with the trophies.
that caused the lacerations, yeah.
So Dale could be
Yeah, that's a big three. That would be
Dale
hard.
could be going down next. He could be,
That-
his DNA could be on it as well, because he touched those trophies so many times. So we may be seeing another bodybuilding,
Leonard making the fondling
another
motion.
bodybuilder in the news. So let's give Dale our best. Let's just hope it doesn't happen.
Oh my God, you fucking guys! Jeez.
Dale will be barred from competing in the Mr. Mayberry. But then you get the self-righteous ones like strongman Robert Oberst, or whatever the hell his name is. Oh, he should be locked up for life, or what a disgusting thing to do.
It's a he said, she said.
Right. And what's she doing going into this room? You know what?
Just depends on who the jury is going to believe. You know, same with Mike Tyson. There was no one else in the hotel room. It was him and her.
You're looking at extreme levels of feminism creeping into the justice system. I mean, legally, you could have a lawyer say that you should be able to explain rape easily. The urge to breathe, the urge to eat, to drink water, the urge to have sex is an almost uncontrollable urge in the human body. You could say the way she was dressed, my defense is she turned me on so much I couldn't control myself. That sounds reasonable to me. Although it'll never be used, but it sounds reasonable.
That's reasonable, Leonard. How many times have you gone out and seen women dressed to kill, and you're going to sit there and say
But I'm just saying that you can almost say that's on par with the urge to drink water, the urge to eat food.
No, because if you don't drink
That's
water,
for survival.
If you don't drink water, you'll die. If you don't fuck, you'll still live, but your
Yes,
balls
but
might
the urge
hurt.
is just as strong.
Right.
Matter of fact, there's some studies where it's been even stronger. And as well, there's some studies that
That's
when
what
rats
you're-
were given cocaine, they would prefer the cocaine to food. And they would die.
That's what you're
I
right.
can attest to that study.
But in all seriousness, the law is so severe as to prevent that. That's the only reason holding men back. But if you look at it this way, I still say you go to the way things are in the Middle East, they're looking at the woman first, because like I've always said, a woman should always accompany a husband, a brother, you know, a male in the family, a trusted male or whatever, and not go out alone. It just never happened. The only people that did that back in the day were prostitutes. And you know,
And they're usually accompanied by a pimp.
how many times do you hear prostitutes accusing rape and guy is getting charged, a known prostitute? That almost never happens. So the point I'm trying to make is, you know, they want to come down hard on these men when you have women coming in their rooms and such like that. There's got to be a little bit more discretion being taken by women. I mean, there's a thing now where you've seen that video of the woman walking through New York wearing the yoga pants, and how they put a camera next to her all day, and how many cat calls she got and propositions. They're actually trying to make that illegal.
Wow.
Where to somebody, if you go up and say, "Hey, looking good," or some guys would just say, "God bless you, honey," or "You made my day," or things like that. To where guys, you know, say, "Wow, you know, hot," or whatever. That you can be charged with a crime. They're trying to do that as we speak.
Well, look what happened to you at Planet Fitness.
Yes.
That's the reason why you got kicked. I don't think we ever talked about that. Did we talk about that on the podcast?
So
No, he didn't take his pants
You're
off.
saying that giving someone a compliment will be considered a crime?
Yes.
Like harassment?
Yes.
So
That would be
what happened at
punishable.
what happened at Planet Fitness?
Well, for filming, number one, and number two,
Oh, okay.
the members at the desk are big fans of our station. And a nice looking young woman in tight yoga pants walked by, and I turned around. I was hungry at the same time, but I said, I'd like to take a bite out of that. You know, she had a nice size roast beef ass. Same color of it, so somewhat innocent, somewhat maybe on the little out of line, you know, but
That's innocent. You know, the new thing I'm noticing in the gyms are girls are tying their sweatshirts around their waist to cover their ass.
They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, well, I saw like one guy particularly like making his girlfriend do that. It was pretty pathetic, you know.
I saw that last week. I was in the Boca gym, and there's a couple in there holding hands throughout the gym, working out with each other. I was like, what the fuck?
There was a couple at the Old
Goddamn
World
break.
Gym that used to do that. I don't know if you remember who
Yeah,
they were.
I know who it is.
They would frolic around the whole gym holding hands. They would never let each other's hands go unless they were doing a set.
You know, if you saw him, you would remember who it was.
It was almost like it was a gag.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it was real, but it was.
So, Brad, do you frolic with the Taco Queen at the Ave?
At the
Holding
Ave?
hands and skipping around?
Yes, that's what we do. We go skipping in the rain, holding
Daisy
hands.
Duke matching jeans.
No, I
shorts
carry
and
her
tattoos?
so her feet don't get wet. I put her on my shoulders, facing me, and run around.
It's not a bad idea.
Girls are pretty naive when it comes to, like, you know, that girl bringing him coffee at his hotel room, things like that, and they think, oh, we're just friends. Any guy that's friends with you
Wants to fuck you.
Exactly.
Yes.
They don't realize that. And I have this friend back home, and she's hot. So, you know, within 30 minutes of us talking, every time I say something like, you should come here and fuck me, something like that, along the
Right, you insinuate, of course.
Why can't I have a guy friend who just like wants to be friends? That's not how it works, you know.
No,
So
they're a lot of them are very naive.
All you got to do to me is say, "Hey, how are you?" And I think you're in love with me. So you know, you come into my hotel room to bring me coffee. It's on.
Yeah, and then you text them. They don't text you back right away. Fuck you, whore.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I can make a reality show out of my disastrous love life.
Speaking of the Mr. Olympias, I mean, looking back a few years, you don't have many problems with these guys, but look at a couple of the early ones. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Franco Columbu. How many times do you think they, in their Mr. Olympia reigns, forced themselves on women 10 times worse than that? I could pretty much guarantee that. Especially Franco. They said he was worse than Arnold. If you listen to Greg Valentino's rants, Franco's come up to married women all the time.
Isn't Franco Columbu as short as that bagel
Short
boss
Italian
guy?
Yeah, pretty much. But that's
Bagel boss.
That's what the bagel dwarf. You know, he's bitching and moaning about.
He'll be gone.
Life's unfair and this and that. Make yourself a monster. It's easy for a guy who's 5 feet tall. There's some short barbers. Danny Padilla, Franco Columbu, some Italian guy who's 5'2", gigantic, and make yourself a freak. Believe me, those women are overlooked that shortness, and besides, you're a fat slob. I never seen anybody get pushed to the ground so easily. There's like a 4-year-old girl,
How tall is that guy?
about 5 feet tall.
Oh, is he?
So when he says that on a dating sites, girls would just say drop dead. And then, like he says, because every time I go to pay for some, they're covering their face and giggling and looking at me.
That's got to suck, though, to be a
Yeah,
man
it's
and be
horrible.
5 feet tall. I mean, you're
But make
practically a
yourself
midget.
a freak. Believe me, they're the last thing they'll be looking at is how small you are and say, look at those muscles. Simple solution, you lazy ass. Life ain't fair. There's people who can't even fucking walk. So next time, I'm glad you got slammed to the ground and your face rubbed in the ground.
You should fight him. He's doing celebrity fighting
Well,
now.
he'll take anybody outside, so I guess so.
That won't last very long.
No. You'll hear his name in the news for another week or two, and you'll never hear from him again.
People giggling at him. That reminds me of Brad's old supervisor on the post office that used to run his mouth. It's like another 5-footer.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking up for his little small ego, trying to throw his weight around.
Yeah, when he sent me home and called the police because I wouldn't leave.
Call the police.
Little creep.
Yeah,
Thank God he's not in my office anymore. He was gone soon after that.
He's the type you corner in the men's room and say, you got something
He
to
had a
say about me, huh?
small man complex.
Yeah.
They fucking
Let's call the police.
yeah. Because I wouldn't tuck in my shirt.
What's he looking at your shirt for anyways, you fag? So I remember male supervisors used to tell guys, oh, tuck your shirt. And I said, why, you want to see my ass?
You should see now there's no, I mean, they tried to, implement the uniform policy for a while. Now, they come in, some of these girls wear fucking dish rags on their head to work
I wonder
when they haven't gotten their hair did.
And some of those male postal workers pull their pants up at the leg, which is out of not regulation last time I checked.
What the Daisy do? Those are old postal shorts. They're real
the
short
postal
shorts.
pants. Folding them up from the bottoms.
You keep looking at pumps. You can't wear pants down here. It's so fucking hot.
Shouldn't even wear underwear or pants.
We were
to tell the
talking about
truth.
that the other day. How hot it's been this summer.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they said New York's supposed to get to 105 this weekend.
There's a big national heat wave this
People
week.
die.
I tell you what, the other day I couldn't even. I had to force myself to eat. I just wanted to drink water. It was tough.
Yeah, if I drank and smoked as much weed as you, I'd be in the same boat every day.
Okay.
Too hot to drink water. Gee, Brad. So how you been
No, I'd
hydrating?
say too hot to eat. All I wanted to do was drink.
Oh.
You know how you get that feeling when it's
Too hot to eat ass?
no, never,
Interesting.
not anymore, Leonard.
Not anymore. So, Pumps, you staying well hydrated in the hot box?
You can have it if it fits. What's your question?
You staying well hydrated in the postal hot box?
That's horrible, man.
Yeah, it's just so heavy and thick, that air.
Well, it's an,
You get used to it.
It's you never get used to it. It's an aluminum. It's like sitting in a fucking
it's hot
toaster
as
oven.
fuck, but you get
It's
used
better
to it.
when you get out. It's nicer out
Yeah.
than inside that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Usually the high this time of year is like 86, 87. It's 93
And
every
you can
single
tell the
day.
8-degree difference. You
Oh,
feel
yeah.
it.
Well, the heat index is like 105 lately. Every fucking day.
Yep. Lenny, what are your thoughts on if you're doing TRT or testosterone leading up to a surgical procedure? You can still do it?
You got to be careful of the blood clotting. If you're taking TRT, that's fine. But you really can't have your red blood cell count too high because that can cause a lot of bleeding. And when they're performing any type of surgery, you don't want that.
It can cause a lot of bleeding or a lot of clotting.
A lot of bleeding.
Wouldn't that be if your blood is too thin? Wouldn't the test make your blood thicker?
Well, it would make your red blood cell count so you have more blood volume,
Okay.
which, yeah.
But if you get your hemoglobin level checked and donate blood regularly, there shouldn't be any problem, should there?
No, and if you're taking a replacement dosage.
Yeah,
there
between
should
2 and 400 megs a week.
be- No, I don't think it would
Because
be.
even though I haven't been in the gym since February, I have continued doing the tests on a weekly basis. Otherwise, I'd weigh like 130 pounds. So that's the only thing that's kept me up around 195.
You ever go off test, you're in for some major depression, which I just recently coming over because didn't self-administer in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, I'm going to wean myself off it for the next month and then get back on it.
Good luck. I think you're going to feel some depressive effects.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, if you're just chilling out around, you'll be fine.
Don't expect to have any women over or desire it. So, Pomps, you're the only one at this table that never took any tests. Is that correct? You're drug-free, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't tell.
No, he's a big guy. He's pretty thick.
Oh, yeah, why? You want me to get on it?
That's midnight
Yeah, why not?
pizzas.
It's midnight pizza.
Yeah, but you're solid. I mean, it's not like you're a marshmallow.
I used to work out years ago.
Oh, okay.
Did sports and all that bullshit.
Yeah. Huh. So how's your sex drive?
You got a stack for me?
Simple. Start out low. Start out low.
Show me what to do and I'll get going.
That's simple. 1 cc, a test 400 a week. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like training wise.
Oh, that's even easier. 3 or 4 days a week, basic compound movements, couple sets each, couple exercises of body parts.
All you need is about an hour.
Not even.
Make me a schedule and I'll do it.
Piece of cake.
I'll be like, what's Tony Hughes? Or no, what's the guy overseas? The transformation guy?
Trevor, Coach Trevor.
Yeah.
Transformation guy.
He like
Coach Trevor,
transforms people in like a month, like crazy
Yeah, that's
muscle.
Coach Trevor, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Yeah.
I would love to be part of that experiment. Yeah. Did you see what they're doing over there?
Yeah.
And you see Dave Palumbo rip into him.
He was
'cause-
right.
Yeah, he was right.
He took the wind out of their sails.
You-
They're talking
Why?
about
What'd he
how
say?
they're
I didn't see.
These guys are Tony's talking about them taking so much stuff and this and that. Well, it's like, that ain't nothing, man. See, I used to take back more than that back in the day.
You know what I think it is because they're all smoking weed over there, so they're like getting lazy and
They're doing
like,
more than that, too.
Yeah, right.
Jesus
It's a big sex tranny party over, drug orgy over there is what it is.
I'm surprised you don't have a first class ticket.
You could probably get one if you get in contact.
Well, if I
with
see
them.
some first class 10-10-10s over there, which I'm sure they go there to make money, I'm sure they do. Because Brad says he saw some in Amsterdam.
Well, I think they're in California right now. No,
Who?
who are you talking about?
The 10-10-10.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking
Right,
about the
yeah.
10-10-10s.
They're everywhere. They're here.
Right.
You don't need to go anywhere else. You know where to find them.
I don't like the young ones. I like the older ones, but not my. Come to the Atomic, you'll get lucky. I heard she lives in Boynton.
Yeah, you'll get lucky.
She was
Just
down-
where he wants to
actually,
go.
We saw her Instagram.
You mean
She
he'll
was
get
down at
unlucky.
downtown Delray.
Yeah.
She was down the Ave at one of the clubs, Pink Fondue, doing a little Instagram video.
Huh.
No one ever believes she's not a girl.
Yeah. I bet you. You know,
Ah,
if you
fucking
got in touch
shit.
with Tony Hughes again, that Coach Trevor would love to. You know, transform you. Whatever
Into what?
they're doing over
Small like him?
Once you have a month or two off, why not?
there. You know what I mean?
It's not so much what he can teach me; it's how much access to. Well, it's not the problem either. You know.
Right.
No, that's
I'm not saying they could teach you. It's just what he'll give you or whatever. I don't know. They seem like they obviously know what they're doing. So.
I don't see any 300-pounders in that group, so
well. You'll be the first.
then they'll take all the credits. I'm actually impressed with. I don't know if any of you guys seen on the History Channel. They have the strongman duplicating historic feats of strength. They're doing a good job promoting their strongman.
Yeah, that's
Brian Shaw,
Eddie Hall, and the guy
Yeah.
you were just talking about.
Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah.
They're doing a very good job. Those guys are turning into household names. They were on Good Morning America the other day.
I thought you don't have cable, or you just watch all this shit on
Good
YouTube.
Morning America is ABC there, Brad.
Oh, you just got the three NBC,
I
ABC,
said, don't
and
I'm
CBS.
ABC, but I saw it on in the internet.
Uh,
No. Who the hell needs it? I got the internet.
Leonard's
now.
got rabbit ears on his.
Yeah. Me TV with Mystery Hunters, 7 a.m. Sunday morning.
You sent me a picture of Christina. When was that from?
Yesterday, I was thinking about her.
Was that her and her sister?
I saw some new material on her. They were talking about her biography, whether she's married, this and that. And it said distinctly, they said she had a Facebook page when she was younger, but it said things started to get very negative, so she dropped all her internet activity. Things were getting very negative.
I wonder why, maniacs.
Negative. But that was a new...
Thanks to you.
No, I wasn't negative. I was very positive. But negative? What's that coming from? Things were getting very negative, and she decided to drop all her activity. That was like a brand new thing I saw.
So she has
That
no
explains
no social media then.
No, because things were getting very negative. Because they were probably saying, "Oh, you need to do this and that to Big Lenny." I think they were telling her it was things like that. You need to, let him pregnant you and stuff like that. But I'm still here, Christine. I still got the same feelings. We're gonna meet one of these days.
Another casualty of the piss.
And then we'll show the world what positivity means. Especially you, Brad. We won't be
Can't wait.
we won't be getting matching tattoos either.
If Christina asked you to tattoo her on yourself, you would do it.
Yeah, I would. Still as cute as ever. An updated picture as well.
Yeah, she looked good. You think that was an updated picture?
Yeah.
How'd you get it?
It's on a few certain sites. I mean, she's obviously over in Italy now.
She doesn't do any acting anymore.
I think she's doing some teaching
Teaching?
and stage plays she does in Italy. She's more into the stage type thing. She's done a few of the more popular ones.
So you got a new phone, or you just got your phone fixed?
I got it fixed.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with it?
It stopped on me, and they said there was a virus.
A virus, one.
Not the kind that Motor City Meatball has, which is why he isn't here. I need my mommy virus.
Oh, gee.
What do you think of that meal?
Too clean, Rob. Go ahead and live life.
Yeah, good point.
That's what you eat when you're doing a contest. Throw in a sweet potato with some cinnamon on it. You eat that 6 times a day.
Speaking
Every
to the
3 hours. You eat that stuff, that meal, and guys have done it. The same thing 6 times a day.
what is it?
Every
Steak
two
and
and a
broccoli.
half hours.
Steak and broccoli.
Throw a sweet potato on there.
6
Get on a
times a
good
day.
cycle training program. You will look incredible, and you'll be incredibly healthy. You have the finest protein in the meat. You have vitamin C and fiber in the broccoli, water. You know, sweet potato, you have an excellent source of slow-burning carbs, and the cinnamon makes your insulin receptors more sensitive. Therefore, your body's output of insulin won't go overboard, which can cause fat storage. Plus, you can get tan when you're eating sweet potatoes because of the vitamin A. Yeah, that would be a perfect diet, and it's affordable.
Yeah.
I mean, you could actually get a EBT card, go to the farmer's market for your sweet potatoes and your broccoli, and go get some top rounds, some thin sliced top round, or slice it yourself for what you can get on an EBT card. There's no excuses. You could drink tap water. That's fine. That's the only thing you eat and drink. And you wouldn't need any protein powder or anything.
6 every 3 hours.
2.5 to 3 hours, yeah.
They have steak at the farmer's market?
No, you can get that.
Or at the
local-
the Boys has all that shit. The
They do,
Boys
but
is
it's so
good. Have you ever
pricey.
been in there?
No.
Next to the post
Yeah.
office, it's a great.
But
they
you
have
can get an
everything there.
inexpensive cut of top round and have them thin slice it for $4 a pound sometimes. And you can eat, 3/4 of a pound, depending on your body weight. A guy my size will eat close to a pound of the meat. You eat that 6 times a day for 3 or 4 months. And on GH, trend, test, anti-estrogen, some cleanse, some cardio in the morning. Simple weight training, it's that simple. And you look like a competitive bodybuilder in no time.
You hear that, maniacs?
Doesn't take that much.
It's not rocket science.
And you don't need to flood yourself with vitamins, minerals, and things like that, or creatine. That'll give you maybe a 1 or 2, 3%, 4% edge, which is fine if that's your goal in life and you want to get that every little edge. But you can pretty much get 99% of your bases covered having that type of meal.
There you go. What's your meals like now?
Basically, every 3 hours, I'll have something. I'll make sure there's 80 to 100 grams of protein, maybe about 100, 120 grams of carbs, and about 30 grams of fat. I'm really not too careful right now. I don't want to call it a cruise, but I'm calling it
Yeah, you're cruising.
a safe, healthy mass training program.
So you're back on test?
Yeah, 400 milligrams a
Okay.
week.
Did you start training again or no?
Yeah, I started training. I trained with Rob yesterday. That
That was
sore.
was that your first day back?
No, I did legs Monday. Very
Okay.
sore, but get back up there in no time. Most importantly, I'm sleeping better, and I'm not, full of water. So
Back to Palm Beach Gym or LA too?
I prefer Palm Beach.
Yeah, I gotta sign up there. I'm tired of LA myself.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what it is about that gym, but I'm just.
The one in Delray is awful, especially at the time you go between 5 and 7. It's very irritating.
Cutter there, if that makes sense.
A lot of ignoramuses there.
Yes, a lot of guys don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Sit down on a bench with your bag, your phone, your drinks splattered all around. Bring the dumbbells around. Just let them sit there. Been looking on your phone, and you got dumbbells, 3 or 4 sets of dumbbells all around you.
What's bad too about that setup is they bolted in the fucking benches too close to the goddamn dumbbell
Yes.
rack.
Right.
So
And they're
it's
bolted in crooked.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking weird. I don't know why they did that because
They
they have
should
so
be-
much fucking room. They should be back at
ignorance.
least 2 feet.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they're only concerned about the bottom line.
yeah. But they
Not
have
your bottom.
they have plenty of room.
Yeah. Well, that's
makes-
why they're. Is that the thing anymore? People talk about LA Fitness. They say it sucks. When it first opened, that was the cool thing. Like,
Well, it has great.
like Atlantic Avenue. Wow, this is cool.
It has great. It does have good equipment. It just, the setup. It's just not set up properly.
I love the lady that makes the drinks, Veronica.
Oh, the older one.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I'll go in there sometimes just to hang out with her for a little
Talk
bit.
dirty.
Yeah.
She doesn't mind. I've done it too.
She said, I mentioned, you guys, how I go there with you. She's like, oh, the Misfits, they walk around like they own the town. I said, well, they do.
Ask Lenny if he has heard about the Jamaican tan Republican who was attempting to take Ocasio-Cortez's spot in Congress.
No.
Someone sent me her name.
I found out some information that Larry Flint, the late publisher of Hustler magazine, has been sending a copy of Hustler to every United States congressman and woman per month since 1984. And they tried to sue him for that, but the Supreme Court ruled that, it was totally legal for him to do that. And to this day, he still does it.
Did you see the movie that they did on him with Woody Harrelson? It was a great fucking movie.
It's a very interesting story about
Yeah.
him.
What he said. They want him.
Do you know who shot him was the Ku Klux Klan. That's why he was in a wheelchair. And then he was saying that Jerry Falwell, the Reverend Falwell, used to have sex with his mother. And he was the first one to, what do they call, troll and meme. He would take heads of people and put them on like prostitutes or whatever. He would say, here's a picture of Hillary Clinton sucking a dick. And he had in his magazine where he would just simply take her face on a hooker's body. It was quite popular, but he did that long before the internet came.
Would like to hear Leonard's take on the Women's World Cup champions. Did he watch?
No, I wouldn't waste a second of that. I want to see the women's housewife cooking championships. That's why I watch.
House cooking
That's why
championships.
in the morning when I'm eating my first meal before work, I watch Leave It to Beaver, so I can see Mrs. Cleaver with her apron on, tending to that beautiful house that family lives in. That's what I want to see. I don't need to see disgusting, foul-mouthed lesbians that need to be slapped.
Now they want equal pay
Equal pay for what? For what they're doing?
compared to the guys.
Well, why don't they go out and play a guy? Then you'll get equal pay. See, they all want that. That's outrageous. Because there's instances, and you know that as well, where there are female letter carriers that actually are more productive than male letter carriers.
So you're saying they should get it?
Certain male letter carriers. Do you agree to that?
Sure.
Sure, they should get it for their productivity. But you trying to tell me, anybody can tell.
We get paid the same though.
Yeah, but I'm saying there are instances where females are more productive than men.
That's true.
So,
Foul-mouthed
anybody in there-
lesbians.
any of those lesbians want us to believe that they can go play in the men's league and be more productive than Ed? Well, go ahead, sweetheart. When you can do it, you can get paid. Matter of fact, why don't you go into the end of this big push for women in football? All those girls, all those hood rats that are safeties and cornerbacks on high school teams, go into the major colleges and NFL and outperform them, and we'll be glad to give you more pay. I mean, the owners will too. So let's see what you hood rats got.
Someone said Pomps looks like the Bagel Boss guy.
The bagel dwarf.
No, he actually has more hair. Well, no, he doesn't. Palms is a lot taller.
Bagel Boss is New York, right?
What was with Jason's temper tantrum at the gym with Brad? Is he butthurt over the fact that he's been on YouTube for 10 years and only has 48,000 subscribers?
That's probably, yeah. He's just getting all the negative comments and shit that's been going on for years.
But one thing,
you know how
Jason,
he
that
gets
we all love
it's a
is
phase.
Picture of you in LA Fitness without a shirt on with the farmer's tan. Day after day after month with no progression whatsoever. We love that. Every single day.
Right.
I mean, that's just, it's starting to get mad. It's maddening because that pops into my screen.
What do you expect? Right? It is. It's fucking annoying. It really is.
But somebody's got to step in and have him say, "Don't do that anymore."
We've all told him not to do it anymore. He doesn't give a shit. You say that here, but then when you see him at the gym, you'll go in the locker room and fucking pose with him and encourage that shit.
Not for a long time, I didn't.
Well, it's funny then. But...
Thoughts on the black female James Bond? Did you see that shit? Is that true?
It is, but it isn't. You have to read the whole article and the whole plot for the new 007 movie. She's going to be, as far as I know, the plot of the movie is James Bond, as in, what the hell's the name of the actor who plays him? Something, Daniel Craig.
Okay.
007 retires. So this new spy comes along, and they give her the code name 007. It's just a spy name. And then I think the plot of the movie is she needs to lure him out of retirement. And then I think at the end of the movie, he takes back over the 007 code, something like that.
It's interesting how they're always throwing a black whatever into a white role.
I think we should do that with John Wick. We should make John Wick like a Bolivian transgendered midget or something. And then the next Rocky movie, Rocky can be like, I don't know, a Guatemalan
landscaper.
Yeah.
They can never make it something unique to their own, like a great. Have anybody ever heard of a great African leader, president of Africa? I've just heard stories after story on the internet of butchers, bloodthirsty, greedy bastards, and he was one of them too. He lit those necklaces up many times. That's a fact.
It's all political correctness.
Yes.
Shit. Look at what they did. That new Men in Black movie they said was fucking awful.
Well, same with the Ghostbusters movie.
Right. That all
too.
women. Yeah. It's just. Give me a fucking break already.
I guess we're just going to start eliminating all, masculine movie roles, and we'll start replacing them with women.
Simple solution, maniacs. Don't look at it. Don't watch it.
What's that movie? The Equalizer with Denzel. We can make him. What can we turn that into?
Well, him and John Wick can just flip flop. Put Keanu Reeves as the Equalizer.
Is that John Wick? By the way.
You never saw John Wick?
Never heard of her.
You'd like it. It's a good
bodybuilder?
movie. It's a good revenge movie. No, it's a movie.
Keanu Reeves plays the guy.
Who?
He plays a hitman.
From Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Who? I saw two movies.
The Matrix. You never saw The Matrix?
I know Rob.
I know you've seen The Matrix.
Rob Lynn Bailey was commenting on it in one of the videos. That's why I ripped on it, but I did not see it.
You didn't?
I never heard of it. Very few movies. I've only been to the movie theater.
You would like the John Wick movies.
Bullshit. Is it factual?
No, you would. You'd like.
Is it a fact?
Is it a fact that you? Is it a fact that you would like it?
No.
Yeah,
Is it a factual movie based on factual occurrences?
Of course not.
I wouldn't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about somebody's fiction. It's what some fucking Hollywood producer thinks up. I'm gonna fucking give a shit.
This is a great point. I'm kind of the same way.
I would not
I can't
like
buy
it,
into that shit.
I'd walk.
But on the other hand, I could sit there and watch WWE for 3 hours. So
there you go.
It's the same
Yeah.
shit,
Not today's WWE. I couldn't.
It's getting a little bit better because they got the competition now.
Bunch of 210-pound nothings. 160
Yeah, that
pounders.
you're right. Yeah.
They don't strike fear into anybody. Only a few wrestlers who could really be afraid of.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like that Ryback guy, he had the look. They should have kept him around.
How strict is their drug testing policy in the WWE?
Speaking of, I was just actually watching
Probably
that
non-existent,
WFN.
right?
I was watching that WFN
No,
thing
it's
Johnny
not.
Bravo
It's pretty-
did, and I will honestly say the way he put that together, a little too much, but he does have some sort of talent with putting that stuff together with the music in the background and creating the feeling and stuff. I'll give him that, but. I don't know how true that stuff was, but I don't think, obviously, if they are taking shit behind the scenes, they're not taking enough. Because like Leonard said, they don't have that look anymore.
They're afraid of somebody dying being caught with substances like the wrestlers were in the 80s and 90s, like the Iron Sheik, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, being caught in airports with pills and whatever, vials.
Right. Which that is what professional wrestling should be. They used to be like rock stars and be out of control. That's how they should be. It would be good press, if anything, for them to start getting in trouble like that. That's what I think, because they're fighters. What are they supposed to do? Behave?
Actually, they're fake fighters.
Right, they're fake fighters, but they're playing fighters.
And another thing with, I think, certain segments of that MMA made people, before it was like the wrestlers were the scariest guys on TV.
Right.
Or the heavyweight boxers until MMA came along. But then again, the wrestlers were bigger than the boxers, though. But since MMA came along,
right.
I just don't like seeing men under 200 pounds fight. I have no use for it.
I didn't know that flippy.
Or women fights, never. And heavyweights fight that are flabby, nah. And they're drug testing it, so I have no. Because you could see a better product, especially women. Give me a woman on androgens, and she'll bust most of those girls up simply for that alone.
Right. I mean, it depends what they're doing. If they're, jumping off cages through a table, it doesn't matter. That's entertaining no matter what. But there's not enough of that. But Paul Heyman is now going to be in charge of Raw. Yeah. So hopefully they'll bring more of that stuff back, because he was the guy who ran ECW. So hopefully they started to, the past 2 weeks, they started to like give little hints that, the whole PG bullshit was over. Like this week they had like a sex scene of a guy and a girl in a hotel room, and stuff that wouldn't fly. So they're putting the message out there that the PG shit is done with. And
you can call me back up, Miss WWE Talent Director, who said that on an email to Andrew that I, after reviewing my online content, I would not be favorable with the guidelines of WWE. So, well, here I am. So get to writing that check. And we'll do some off-the-wall stuff, trust me, where how'd you like to see me rape Triple H? That'd be a great
I'm sure people would love to see that.
Like a jump attack where I rape him. He's held down by Rob Zillow. I rape him.
You hear that, Paul Levesque? We're coming for you.
Trying to copy my gimmick with my look, too, you cookie cutter. What happened to the long, golden, flowing hair you had, the girl's hair, when you were Hunter Hearst Helms with that beautiful hair? Beautiful. You look like a Breck girl from the 70s.
Yeah, when he used to do the how he would tie it in the back?
Yeah.
With like the double point.
Holmes doesn't remember that part of the 70s because he was over in Southeast Asia. Not because he was too young. He was just over there. I heard you came back late. You were in a prison camp. And they didn't get you out to the late 70s.
Well, that was from the Mekong River.
Oh, yeah. I saw the footage, yeah. Scary. You need to open up about those stories. I'm sure they'd like to hear it on the podcast. Horrible. Talk about, man, you've been through it all.
He shared a cage with John McCain.
And look, Pumps doesn't have PTSD. He was over there out in that hot and humid jungle in a cage. And you would think when he gets in his hot mail truck, he would be getting flashbacks. But you don't see Pumps bitching about that stuff.
Medicated.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Medicated, unlike Jason. Ask Lenny what he thinks of girls that have had a lot of sex in the past and are now reformed, looking for a nice guy to be their boyfriend.
Boyfriend? You got to think, young lady, along the lines of taking care of a man. And man, you think along the lines of starting a family and financially providing for that woman. It's not about boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not about when you get horny so you can use each other for mutual masturbation. It's not what that's about. It's about putting food on the table and mental and support and supporting the family or each other as best you can. Not for a sex toy. Not for a come and dump.
A pump and dump.
Oh.
Smash and dash, pump and dump. That Scott John wanted me to ask you, did you ever watch the show Friends And what was your favorite episode?
Somebody had it on, and it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever. I mean, men and women living as equals. You don't see nobody ever trying to grab a girl's ass or something or steal her panties. They were like sitting and talking amongst themselves. I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting to see a girl that acts like somebody is a we're friends or whatever. Like you were saying, something's not right about that. Like those old MTV shows from the 90s, they started that, where they'd all live together.
The Real World?
Reality show.
Yeah, nobody's making a move on the girls or anything. I always found that odd.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they did, but they just didn't include it in the final cut of the TV show. You don't know.
Right.
You don't know what happened
It was
behind
a
the
reality
scenes.
show. It should have been in there.
All that shit's half scripted anyway. You know that.
No, I don't.
You have a charger somewhere?
What kind of phone is it?
iPhone?
From Core Laboratories, what is Big Lenny's thoughts on pro athletes sleeping for over 10 hours? What benefits do they get out of
If
this?
you're capable of doing it, great.
Yeah, no, right?
But who can actually do that? I think if you're in the right atmosphere. First of all, the room has to be a certain temperature. It has to be pitch dark. There has to be almost a white noise. When I talk about white noise, it's a certain type of frequency that can put you to sleep.
Like a fan?
Yes, and you can't be on any type of stimulants or anything like that, but it's possible.
Have you ever slept for 10 hours straight without getting up to pee or anything?
Not since I was a child. I get up to pee at least 2 or 3 times a night. But at that point, I'll take a scoop of glutamine at one point, and that puts me back to sleep.
Yeah, I started doing that.
It works.
Yeah.
Relaxes you, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's cheap, and it's good because it's on an empty stomach. Sleep is just something we're all, with lights being on and, you know, especially Jason probably having his phone in his bed, getting up for...
Sticking things up his ass.
Oh, yeah. Sensimilia Skrilla. Question for Salmon Pants. Did he help Jason take the carrot picture?
The what?
Did you help Jason take the carrot picture?
What's the carrot picture?
The picture of a carrot up his ass, but we found out it wasn't
Carrot
his.
up his ass.
Yeah.
No, I was there for the cucumber one, not the carrot. We don't have any questions. I'm 16. I'm wondering if it's safe to take.
Go through them if you want. I'm
I
looking
don't
at some of
have
them now.
Instagram.
You can look at them.
Yeah, they're asking. They say they want you to create another IG.
$50 PayPal.
You know, it's funny. Jason's doing something that those trannies have told me, because if I'll go to Club Atomic, and mostly it's like it's socializing, and I'll ask them some really questions about their, you know, if they had a mother or father, or when did they start dressing as women. And 90% of them said during puberty they had an urge to stick objects up their ass. One girl said she couldn't wait to get home to stick stuff up her ass. So 10 said that when she was turning 13 or 14. So that's something he has in common with most of them.
So you think Jason is going to wind up being a tranny?
Is that why he made me buy him that wig?
You did buy him a
We
wig,
put
didn't
makeup
Yeah,
on.
I did.
Yeah, and he's putting lipstick on in that video.
What?
That's right.
Starting
Yeah,
to connect
they've
some
also-
dots
Yeah, he
here.
did a video where
Yeah.
he's putting
An
lipstick
urge
on.
to
Yeah?
stick
You didn't
things
see
in
that?
my ass. Can't wait to get home from school so I can stick something in my
Check in the
ass.
Club Atomic.
That'd be interesting. We should all go. Make a great video.
I'll go.
Places are real. You sure? You see some free. There was a guy that walked in with a fat Mexican woman. It looked like Jay Masters in drag. I swear to God. He come in and he's just. And I told Mike T. I said, "Look, it's Jay," and he's looking. He just started laughing. And she's coming in, and then she starts staring at me across the bar, like giving me a dirty look, because I was just rolling. Because I had a 10 here, and I'm like, I looked at her and I said, "What the hell is that?" And she's like, "I don't know." I said, "Does she work here?" She goes, "God, I hope not." And it looked like Jay had a red dress on, and then at the end of the night, Mike was over talking to the owner of the club. I don't know what he's talking about, but this woman and this thing come over to Mike, and I'm looking, and I'm saying, "There you go, Mike, one for you." And he's like, "Oh, shut up." Looked just like him, big. I thought it was him. But But so they got some nice looking girls come in there. You'd be surprised. Shocking. I mean, the one that you got like 20, 25, there's like maybe 10 guys in there.
That's it.
Bartenders, usually some drugged out, middle-aged woman from New York. You know, the owner's a black guy.
I forgot. I was gonna read this guy's
It's not what you think in there. It's like
that guy that you spoke about last week. You and Mike T's friend.
he called me.
Seth Gregg. Yeah.
He's uproar. He's pissed.
Yeah, he said, I'm the guy Lenny was talking about. The only time I ever mentioned to Mike T I talked to you is on here, which is Instagram. Direct message. Okay, listen. Not sure what that's all about. Rich Piana story is true. I had cancer 3 times and lost over 250 pounds, and he was impressed. He knew one of the local...
So that's how you lost the weight.
Just
Seth.
listen. He knew one of the local wrestler bodybuilders over there in Tampa. Lenny sure is nice in person when he saw me at the casino. If he had ill feelings, he should have said something, but I'm about to see Mike in the gym, so I'll talk to him.
No, Seth, I would just... Mike's and I spoke, and some of the things you said I sort of challenged. I should have spoke to you, but, you know, I shouldn't have brought it out like that. You know, you are a very nice guy, and, hey, your weight loss was very, very impressive, but...
Well, here's more. He said, I confronted Mike T. Listen, I'm a businessman, pretty successful, and have no reason to lie. Either Mike or Lenny decided to embellish a bit. I have a crazy, jealous girl, and she spends time in Jersey with my kid and her family. There are pictures of Rich and I at the Tampa Pro. I only brought it up because Mike was talking about the guy and saw me wearing his clothes, which were given to me. The only accurate thing he said was my transformation to 470 to now. It's all good, just not a big fan of wrong information being told with my name. So I figured I'd read that for him.
All right, Seth. That's fair enough.
So there you have it.
I made a new Instagram. It's bob.zilla1.
Wait a minute.
It's up right now?
Yep, bob.zilla1.
That's your new Instagram.
New Instagram. Yeah, the number 1. Bob.zilla1. I didn't want the 1, but that's all that was available.
All right, there you go, maniacs. You made a new Instagram. Go follow him.
I better get some free shit out of this.
Let's see how long you last this time.
Yeah, right. Well, it wasn't anybody that drove me nuts last time. It was just that I posted some girl's number, and she must have reported it or something. You guys did a great job for me. Thank you on that. I was getting sick of the trolls, but that's, you know, neither here nor there. That wasn't the reason. Yeah, exactly. I didn't really, that wasn't the killer for me. Obviously they would get to me, but not to.
All right, so I'm going to post this real quick on the story. What is it now? Bob?
Zilla in the number 1.
ZILLAH.
No H.
There you go. All right. Any
Yeah,
more?
first comment they read, Rob offers nothing, schlub. Great. If Rob is drunk, it's gonna be funny. I don't know what's going on, but I can't get drunk right now. I think it's because I cut out the carbs, I cut out the sugar. I feel completely normal, and I was taking some big swigs. I haven't drank in I don't even know how long.
Yeah, when we saw you at the fights.
Yeah, that was
what
the
was
last
that?
time, yeah.
2 Saturdays ago?
Yeah.
A week and a half ago?
Which was nice. It was nice to go out and not go out like hoping to meet girls or whatever. Just to go out there and have a circle jerk was great.
Yeah, that Black Rose is a good spot. You got to meet.
Yeah.
That's the first time you met Nate and Koth Andrew, right?
Yeah, I really like Nate. Nate's cool. He's Andrew. Yeah, he wasn't very talkative, but
He usually isn't.
yeah.
He gets into the fights. He doesn't talk much.
Oh, he's real into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Connor kid, I didn't even know that's who worked at Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He worked at the Old World Gym too, at the front desk. He was there like, what was it, three months before it closed, Andrew, something like that. When Connor came down and started working at the Old World Gym at the front, he was only there for a few
Not
months.
long. Yeah, closed soon after.
Yeah, it's blowing up already. We'll see. Yeah, it's worth it, right now, and I got the time to. Was too stressed before. I should have kept it before. The Gary Genova started.
I gotta fucking learn. You see, I typed in that other name and it just stayed on the fucking screen here. I put it in the trash can at the bottom when I tried to swipe it down, but it stayed up there. But whatever. This fucking shit. Whatever. I think Leonard's destroying your toilet right now.
Yeah, I stopped enforcing that rule about 50 podcasts ago. No point.
They're asking about shirts there, Pomps. What's going on? I mean, you don't know. You sent them all out, right? Well, these people, Chris Bra's in Sweden, so that shit takes forever. That's the one thing I hated about doing that, was the international shit. Total pain in the balls.
Some of those addresses were just...
Someone just said, "Hey, me, Bother Pajamas." Some of these are great, Some of them are entertaining.
Yeah, most of them are. They got a lot of funny shit to say. You just don't get yourself sucked in. And a lot of the time, they'll side message, they'll DM you, "Hey, by the way, that's a joke. I'm not really, They do that shit a lot, where they say real fucked up shit on your post and then DM you that they're just joking. Don't block me, please.
Yeah, right.
I was just joking.
You tell Jason,
Which I don't block
unblock
her.
me.
I don't-
Tell Brad, unblock me.
I don't block anybody. You know that.
Well,
They all know that.
tell Jason.
A lot of people deserve to get blocked, but I don't block nobody. Fuck it. Who cares? That's what Jay does. He gets oversensitive and blocks people.
Yeah, this time I just won't have my family know about my Instagram, because like my sister or my cousin will go into my lives and they're like, "How many hookers have you got since you're in Florida? How many STDs you have? This and that."
Mm-hmm. I hate Pomps. Take Pomps back to the old folks' home.
Hey, the Pomps, if it wasn't for Pomps, you'd be overrun by Vietnamese.
Leonard's in the kitchen filling up his water jug and said if it wasn't for Pomps, you'd be overrun by the Vietnamese. What other topics? I think we covered mostly everything. Yeah, how's your health, Leonard? Have you been back for a checkup or no?
With checkup with who?
Doctor.
What you said?
I
You
don't
said
need
you
that
said
medicine.
you said last week you had to go back to the
I did,
endocrinologist.
I
Oh, you
changed
did.
my mind.
Okay,
Brad's a doctor.
my
You
doctor.
cancel the appointment?
Yeah, because I don't need to hear their negativity. I'm fine. If I was sleeping on my back, this wouldn't have happened.
So you've been able to sleep on your back now?
Right, because I
Good.
got the water out. But if I was sleeping on my back originally, I wouldn't have the water build up.
Did that guy send you the somebody DM me how to get CPAP machine? Have you checked your DMs lately?
No, I got to find out.
Yeah, look through your DMs. I think I told him to send it to you too. I believe.
Okay.
I can't remember who
I need a
sent it.
self-adjusting CPAP.
Yeah, guys.
Specific for him or something?
Yeah, whoever. You guys can DM Leonard. Do you check him once in a while?
DMs, I'm not sure if I do. I think sometimes I do.
When you sent me when you send me posts through direct message on Instagram, those are DMs. So you go in there then, because if you can send them to me.
Sometimes I don't see some.
You sent me that Henry Rollins quote last night. But when you're in there, that's where you check the DMs. You don't look at that?
One of them I do. It looks so like that. I'll answer questions every once in a while.
Okay, well, there you go. Because I try to redirect as many people as I can to your Instagram. I probably shouldn't. Cause
Someone's texting you and saying, "Did you make it home safely?"
What?
That's probably
Candy. That's why you went down there, you
Hi,
fuck.
Ben.
Pick up.
Yes, thank you.
Pick up.
Nate just sent me a message, and it's him. It's a verified one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did Nate send you?
He just said, "Is this the real Bobzilla?" I said, "Yes." Are you doing the podcast? What did you think he'd say?
Probably some sexual deviant item that came across his filthy mind.
We should have him and Livia back on when she gets back from Germany.
Who's it from, Brad?
Ah, fuck if I know, man.
Over 60.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
What if it's like
It was last week. No, it was a DM directing to a site where you can order a CPAP. So without having to go get your study done.
What else has happened since I wanted to talk about?
Back in the piss.
Yeah, I'm back in.
How's
Stinky?
yeah.
Gene?
Is he back in Detroit?
Yeah, he's back in Detroit. He just got in a car accident. He's all right. He sends me a photo of his car all fucked up, and he's like, just a little fender bender. We don't care. We're freaks. All this shit. Yeah. He's going back there to get some job, but he can work like remote from wherever. So then he's gonna try to move back down here to West Palm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was real, stressful for him to be down here and, not working and whatever. Most people, unlike me, are normal and they worry about those type of things before they move somewhere. But
What do you mean, have a job lined up before you move?
right.
Boy, you really took a great leap.
Yeah.
I actually admire you for that, but that's not good when you can't train, eat, or sleep properly. When that's happening, it's not good.
Yeah, no.
That's
for
not
sure.
worth it.
No.
But then again, you got to live somehow, so you come into some lousy sacrifices for me over the years, being in that situation. I remember first I had to sacrifice air conditioning, renting a room from Haitian people I work with. They didn't put the air on all year.
I know. I see that shit, man. I don't understand how they do it.
I mean, I had a fan on me 24/7 in the house. If I didn't have a fan, I was gushing sweat. They never had any fans on them. Nobody was not even a bead of sweat. They would get up and cook.
But they had central air, right? They just didn't turn it
They
on.
didn't turn it on. Their excuse was the husband or whatever. Her husband is sick or doesn't. It's cheap.
Jesus Christ.
That was rough. I mean, you're talking about a day like today. Eventually, you fall asleep. You do get used to that. You'll fall asleep.
Oh yeah, that heat will put you out.
And it pools of sweat.
I used to see that all the time when I delivered in the
And
ghetto.
that got so
I don't know how
depressing
they
after
do
a
it.
while. I mean, it's really depressing.
Year round, no air conditioning.
It's,
So
I'd
the
come home
windows
from
open.
work. I'd work the morning. I get home at 1:30 and those peak heats. God, I wanted to die.
Yeah, it's fucking outside
It's not
now. It's
fucking
probably
worth it.
85 degrees. That's the thing.
It
It's
sucks. I mean, I'd rather be up in the freezing cold.
unless you're close to the beach, because you always get a breeze if you're down by the beach. But
Yeah.
when you're inland here, fuck, man, that's rough.
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah, just because they moved here from a shithole doesn't mean they have to turn their house into a shithole. Use the fucking air.
You get mold that way.
Yeah, no shit.
The one thing about Haiti, and I've watched a lot of documentaries, they've always, no matter how bad the circumstances, they've always managed to somewhat live on under them. Horrendous circumstances, starvation, Tonton Macoots coming beating the shit out of you.
Tonton Macoots.
Yeah. In Africa, again, I saw another video on with YNC from Africa. I don't know what this guy did. They stripped him naked. There's like hundreds of people right in the street. There's shops on the side of the road. I mean, packed.
What he did or what he was accused of doing.
Exactly.
He didn't
Accused, I
exactly
don't
have a
know, but
trial in a court of
They
law.
stripped him naked, kicked him, stomped him, were taking pieces of stick and steel and smashing his genitals hard as they could, ball shots, kicking him in the nuts, hitting him with bricks in the nuts. You could tell he was covering himself up, bleeding everywhere. You know how black skin looks when it's skinned? You get that pink underneath. I mean, hitting them in the face and the head, hard as they can, 20 people.
Why the fuck would you want to watch
And
that?
everybody's, well, it's because it's to show, hey, this is what could happen if things, you get this type of lawlessness, these type of people. And then they took 3 or 4 tires and placed them on. He kept trying to kick them off. Then they put them on again, threw on a gasoline, not lighter fluid, gasoline. Threw a match on him. And that basically offed him. 4 burning tires covering his body. And with the gasoline and then burning, I mean, them tires lit up real easily.
So in the caption, they didn't say what he did. It was just.
But right in the middle, I mean, there's police. There's nothing they can do. Can't hold the crowd back. Everyone's got their phone. Every guy, especially guys in their 20s and 30s, coming up and giving them a shot or hitting them in the nuts. I mean, God, burn that kind of pain after getting kicked like that. You're going to have that rubber melt right through your skin. And it's a long, torturous death. Horrible. And I don't know how you could do that to anybody, no matter what he did. So these criminals, again, nothing when I see a prison show or prison documentary and these cocksuckers thinking they're tough or arrogant or, you know, they're bad or something like that. And they get an open forum, they get to speak while on death row. You know, keep your mouth shut, humbly do your time, because if you ever in parts of Africa, they'd rip you into 2. It's horrible, torturous death, because you got the power of the Constitution over here and the laws. So never forget that. I mean, they glorify prison. That big Herc on his little documentary. That big black queer. I challenge you, Big Herc. I'm sick of hearing about your prison stories and glorifying it.
Who's this?
Big Herc. He does Prison Talk as a show. He gets ex-cons on. He actually sells a pre-workout, too. Talks about, you know, answers questions from fans. He claims that, you know, he just trying to educate people on what reality in prison life is like. Things you never do or don't do. I mean, you're glorifying it, Big Herc. I'm not impressed. And you guys get the message to him. And if he wants to challenge me, he's almost my size, so it's a fair challenge.
Big Herc.
Big Herc.
He's on
Google
YouTube. Big Herc.
Yeah, Prison Talk.
If he likes it so much, why doesn't he go back?
Yeah, exactly. Or go to Africa, Big Herc, and see what kind of justice you get over there.
Where is he now? Where does he live?
I think he's maybe out in California or Vegas, but he's done his time. You know, says his message is positive. I think he's glorifying it because of the guests that come on. Oh, you don't do this, you don't do that. Don't let somebody give you somebody do you a favor because they're going to expect a double-fold return on it.
Hear that, Big Herc?
Yeah, and he was talking
Have Leonard on your show. Does he do a podcast or it's just a YouTube show?
He does a show. Just think he's sending out the wrong message.
What message would you like him to send out?
I don't think it should be on the air.
How come?
Just glorifying it.
He's glorifying
Why don't
it by
you tell
he's trying to tell people how to live and survive in prison? Is that what he's doing, or?
Yeah, but it's being glorified. What I want to know is how come all these guys in prison that don't like to follow laws here set up all these laws in prison? Like if I were to get sentenced, I have to follow it? They say, oh, it's you follow these laws, you don't do this, you don't do that. It's like, fuck you, who said so? And if you're white, you have to join a gang like the Aryan Nation or you're fucked. Like, who said so? Why don't you follow the laws before you get there? Big Herc. Probably a tranny in prison.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What prison was he at?
Somewhere in California. Did something stupid.
You sure we're not talking about Cali Muscle?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, same
Right?
premise. I was
That's what it
irritated
sounds
by him,
like.
too. Yeah, it's pretty. The guy's not as arrogant as Cali Muscle, but I just don't like the message. I just don't like the guests that come on and the way they talk.
Well, who does he have on? Ex-cons?
Different ex-cons, yeah,
Okay,
of all
okay.
different types. White guys, black, whatever.
Anybody taking tests? I have a recent thing I discovered. This is not an advertisement here. I switched from enthanate to cypionate, and I feel a huge difference. I was telling everybody before. I don't know why or why the ester would make such a big difference, but for some reason it does. I almost feel like I haven't been on test for months. And after the cypionate, now I feel all the effects. I think that's also why I'm not really getting drunk right now. I kind of feel normal. I don't know what test would have to do with it, but...
What do you think about that?
On paper, it shouldn't.
Right.
Now, maybe you might.
What do you prefer?
Get something underdosed. All tests is the same. I prefer the cheapest. The 400 has a mixture of tests. It's like a Sustanon with an added fast-acting ester. But cypionate and antate's fine. I always thought they were indistinguishable. Propionate's good. Maybe the last few weeks before a show. Or actually the last month before a show. You shouldn't really do tests close to the shows. Guys stop 2 to 4 weeks out.
Why is that?
Water retention. Growth hormone stopped 2 to 4 weeks out as well. Too much water retention.
I also tried acetate. I loved the acetate.
Yeah, a lot of guys do.
Right.
Just got to do it every other day, though. That's the only problem.
Even every day, really, to keep it stable.
That's definitely a physique changer.
Right.
If for guys who never took it before, you'll gain some massive strength and aggression.
But just that, like, I was feeling shitty in the gym, joints hurt, everything hurt. And then, you know, I knew from the test acetate how tests really should make you feel in the gym and whatnot. And I feel like I get that from the cypionate, but not so much the enthanate. I don't know why. It could have just been, you know, one batch, you know.
Well, if any maniac has similar occurrence, please let us know.
Right.
I take the test cypionate. I like it.
Yeah. The guy who I learned everything from at first is Dr. Todd Lee. He has a channel. I forget what it's called. He has Valhalla Labs. He sells all products. But I listened to him because he's got like his doctorate in biochemistry, so he knows all this shit down to a science. And he always said cypionate is shit compared to enthanate. So I never
heard that before.
But this is the second time that I, you know, from different people and everything. The first time that I tried cypionate, I took 2 cc's of it, and I felt like, holy shit. So something, yeah, I don't know if anyone else has the same experience, but it's night and day difference for me. So if anyone's on shit right now and it doesn't feel like it's working, try to make the switch, see what happens.
Howie B73 wanted me to ask you if you reached out to your father on Father's Day, like you said you would.
Sadly, I didn't. But
how come?
A couple things. I think he may be watching me online, and who knows? Maybe some things he may not approve of, or I think my brother's communicating with him, and actually went to see him a week ago.
Oh, shit.
But I'm not sure. But I think he has been, because he knows it upsets my mother. My mother really has a real bad grudge against him. You know.
Did your brother come to the hospital?
No.
He never came.
Well, he only lives a block away from the hospital, so I wouldn't want it.
Did you see him on the 4th?
No, him and mother. He took her to.
Oh, okay.
He was actually up in Cape Coral. He didn't even tell me they were going to St. Augustine, Cape Coral. They rented a hotel.
Well, St. Augustine's on the East Coast. Cape Coral's on the West Coast.
Yeah, she went to Cape Coral.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
What if you would have known that?
Would have go say hi to Dave.
Say hi to his neighbor.
I think he's been eaten by snakes by now.
The neighbor.
He's missing.
Dave threw him in a snake pit.
Yeah, one of his pythons probably swallowed him.
F1Gs.
How do you like that video of the cat
hitting the
attacking
alligator?
the
You sent me that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, send it to Andrew. There's a cat stray cat in Louisiana. The alligators come up, and he swats him.
I think I did see that.
And they're saying
Yeah.
the reason because they hunt just like an alligator. They stay, then they do that last minute burst, and the alligator met his match. And to be honest, the alligator, that was painful for him to get swatted in the eye. The cat knew what he was doing. So they weren't the biggest alligators, but still. You know, then they say those kind of alligators will snatch a dog easily because of the hunting skills. But this cat had no fear.
Okay,
I think that
F1G's
video's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
question for Lenny: does he think not having a liftoff helps with strength gains?
Well, it has to be a correct and a consistent liftoff. It has to be done the same time. Me and Andrew Calora, me and Mike T from benching all those years, and me and Big Rob here, he's getting used to my liftoff. Although Rob goes 3-2-1, where the other ones will go 1-2-3. So it has to be there. It has to be taken out to the appropriate space with the appropriate force. It can't be taken out and slammed on somebody. You ask somebody that there's a lot of guys that have no clue. You take your life into your hands. I had a guy take it out on an incline, or no, behind the neck press, and man, I didn't have the catch pits in, and he threw it. So I'm going behind the neck. He threw it over here. It went the bar went on my upper thighs. Luckily, I had a lot of meat on there, man, but that fucking hurt. I was all bruised up.
Oh shit!
I just turned around and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know, and it's like he's all scared, some kid, but people don't know how to spot correctly. He always getting himself into trouble.
That happened to me at LA Fitness
Oh, yeah.
last week with the behind the neck thing. The guy tries to put it out.
That
here.
rack, I
Behind the neck,
fucking
you
hate that
fucking-
behind the neck press over there.
It's
That's
like you almost got to explain to him, not the front neck,
Yeah,
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 you-
yeah.
behind. Yeah.
I love doing those now, and I started to see a new definition, like, you know.
If you're able to do them, and Angel will never be able to do them, they work. They work better.
Well, something strange.
You'll get some shoulders.
I messed one of my shoulders up benching a couple weeks ago doing the incline on a Smith machine because the angle's kind of whatever, and I was feeling good. I went up to 4 plates. I got it for 2, but on the second one I hurt something, and I haven't been able to bench. Well, yesterday I was fine, but up until then I had to take some time off of benching, but for some reason behind the neck presses didn't bother my shoulder, but incline or
Sure.
benching would.
And I advise anyone, do not use a Smith machine for incline or flat bench. Use a hammer strength. Those aren't designed for that. Those will damage you.
Yeah, because some
Right.
of them are tilted
Yes.
a little
Right,
bit like
right.
that. Yeah,
Stick
I
with
stopped
the-
doing that a while
The
ago.
hammers you can really handle because they're designed by Arthur Jones' son Gary to go with the biomechanics of your body movements. But you're letting that Smith dictate your range of motion, and that is
Right. I was at the LA Fitness in I think Fort Lauderdale when I did that, and on their machine I was able to go up to 4 plates, no problem. This LA Fitness, it kills me to put on 2 plates. I get like 6 reps.
Yeah,
and
it's-
yeah.
Planet's the same way. I humbled you, but glad I'm out of there. That was a fiasco. I was actually glad, even if the free tanning.
Free
Glad.
tanning. Go outside during the day.
It's almost too hot out here to go outside. It's so uncomfortable.
You only need 7 minutes each side.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between 11 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I used to
You
sit
will
in my
get
backyard
fucking
naked, but
cooked.
Now, I didn't mind because the only person that saw was the women next door. But now I got my neighbor man bringing his dog shit back and putting it in a garbage can. So
yeah,
I don't want him to see me.
yeah,
the
yeah, that fucking
weirdo.
toothless fuck in the front.
Yeah. He tells me, the week I was gone, he didn't know where I was. He's like, "Oh, you missed all the excitement. The sewer septic system backed up," which I was aware of. That's why I left. And then the power was out for 2 days. I said, "What?" Could you imagine?
While you were in the hospital?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, for what?
Yeah, what caused that?
He didn't say, but jeez, that would have been hell.
There was a really bad storm
Yeah, okay.
that week.
Yeah.
Please ask Lenny if he has had any experience with GW 501 516
Yeah,
Cardarine.
I take that
Cardarine.
for
Yeah.
endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get a good feeling of well-being on it. It's good. It's a good supplement.
I need to get that.
Poor man's EPO, this guy says.
Different.
I wouldn't say an EPO, but I would say definitely something to add to its stack, and it's healthy. Great for bone building, immunity. People don't realize a lot of those SARMs are really good for your health.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in, just doing tests and then adding maybe the RAD 140, the GW. I think that's all you really need. Then you don't have to worry about ordering shit from, I don't
And
really
of course, the MK677 growth hormone releaser on paper is a must. 120th the price of growth hormone. It's your natural growth hormone. Helps with the bone building. Helps burn fat. Helps build muscle. And there's a supplement called Huperzine A that you can get at GNC relatively cheap. You take 50 milligrams 3 times a day, and it makes it twice as strong. Because it cuts down on somatostin, which is what your brain releases to stop your growth hormone secretion. So that, to me, that's a no-brainer. It's MK677 for every man, woman, child, especially the elderly. A lot of those SARMs are bone density builders. And why the elderly aren't taking advantage of that, I'll never know. Maybe because the government knows, you can't be giving out Social Security payments. It would bankrupt us to have another people living to be 120, which is possible because of the immune boosting effects of the SARMs, bone building and such. What happens with most old people? You fall and break a hip and you're dead.
Right. Look at my grandmother fell and broke her shoulder.
Right,
Fucking
it's weakness you're worried about.
3 months later, out.
And the SARMs don't give the side effects of the prostate, the heart, and other areas, organs of the body that anabolic steroids might do. I didn't say will, I said might. So SARMs are something for people to look into for their health.
Which ones have the immune system benefits?
GW, LGD, and I think there's a myostatin one, might be called YK, that I've read of. There's many.
Right.
Many that we don't even know about yet, that this technology's just going to get better and better.
And they got them at, I know House of Nutrition in Boynton Beach has the SARMs. And then,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's good.
House of Nutrition still going?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Big Mike, right?
Yeah.
He played for Miami, or he played for Michigan.
Both.
He played for Michigan and Miami.
Yeah, and got transferred. Big guy, big scary, nice guy, very intelligent, very comes in and says hi to me. So
For research purposes, I think. Is that where I fucked up?
yeah, Mike. Yeah, he's about 6'6", 6'7", 310. Good offensive tackle size.
Did you see Lee Priest got charged at the Gold's Gym? They charged.
Yes,
they
but
charged
they
a
gave him a-
day pass, and then he had to. They made him pay for a weekly
And when
pass
they had a big
too.
uproar, the president gave him a pass for life. See, that's what happens when, and he paid it. I mean, he's not the type of guy to make a big stink about it, but he's like.
Well, he kind of made a big. I mean, he
Well, he said,
went
"Turn
public
around," he goes,
about
"I'm on
it.
the-
So
look at my picture over there.
yeah,
His picture's
that
on the
is
wall
fucked
there.
up. That just shows you how clueless the
Well,
people
they
working there
charged
are.
Dwayne Yates.
No shit.
Yes. Who made Gold's Gym? That wasn't the gym. It was crap. It was the bodybuilders that trained there. It wasn't the fucking gym. It sucked. It's a fucking hole in the wall. No respect. But they'll let some rapper come in for free, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. or some YouTube fitness person. I'm sure they'd let some of these other dopes get in there
Cookie
for
cutter.
nothing.
What is a you? God forbid if I ever called you or anybody else a YouTube fitness celebrity. What a horrible fucking thing.
Celery.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Once my phone's charged, I'll take him to the gym one day this week. I'll give him my monthly dose.
Once your phone's charged?
Yeah, it's dead, right? It just died, yeah.
What the fuck's What's your phone got to do with taking him to the gym?
No, I say I'll text him and I'll tell him I'll go with him one day this week.
Jason?
Yeah. On the way here, I was laughing about some of the shit.
Well, he's
he
gonna
was
make you
saying.
pick him up. He still doesn't have a car, you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't
I
know.
thought you got a BMW.
You dipshit. You believe those fucking clown videos he makes? That's somebody else's
With the money
fucking
he's making,
car.
I figure, use
With the money he
BMW.
says he makes. Come on, Lenny. You know better than that. The money he says he makes, he should be driving one. Luckily for him, his mother controls whatever
That
money
was her
he
that made
does.
that recent comment about him.
What's
I
that?
hope you're laughing with him instead of at him.
What the hell are you talking about?
It was on one of his Instagrams or videos. Or
What he's
something.
laughing with him. They're all laughing at him.
It said Jason's mother, and then it said, "I hope you're all laughing with him." Not at him."
Jane's not going to make comments like, that's a troll, Leonard. Come on. You should know this by now. You would get duped so easy. Good thing you don't know how to work your fucking phone or your social media. You'd get tricked all the time.
Tricked into what? Not sticking vegetables in my ass.
I see Jay's been laying low for a few days. A smart move. Except for the texts and the DMs.
Does he get money to do that?
Mommy, can I have my allowance? He wears one of those hats. It's like a little cap with a helicopter. thing.
There's your next meme.
Yeah,
Jay with the helicopter hat.
yeah,
Little propeller.
yeah. What, can I get my chocolate milk? She gets the Nestle Quick and puts it in his milk.
It's
Tapioca
crazy.
pudding.
It's crazy. His mother is such a nice woman too. It's amazing that he came out of her. You never met her, have you?
No.
She's a sweetheart. It just blows my mind.
What's going on with him? Everyone keeps saying. I don't know what's going on with him. People are saying he's talking shit about people, or he went on a rant.
Nah, he just gets a little sensitive when people make comments. He got very upset that I didn't defend him with Dale last week because Dale threatened with guns. So he got all, how come you didn't go to bat for me from Dale's threatening me with guns and
Why is he?
you're white knighting for Dale. I never white knighted for anybody. I was just speaking the truth.
That's what I'm talking about. What had happened with him and Dale?
Just ongoing bullshit. They're back and forth. Yeah.
Well, what's what finally set Dale off? Because I've said some things, and Dale talked.
Well, you didn't say you were going to walk to North Carolina and fuck his wife. So.
No, I did not say that. No. Yeah, that's a little too far.
Yeah.
No, actually, they said you says below your standard, or some reference to something like that.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, Leonard, now you're going to start. It's all just bullshit that just got, out of control.
He said he was going to fuck his wife, and then his wife said she was going to put a bullet in his head. And then Brad didn't go up to bat for him. And here we are.
I don't understand. It's like I'm 20.
It's none of my. It's between them. Who gives a fuck? That's his beef. But see, Jay wants everybody to jump on his side, even when he's wrong. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
Well, he also used the Delray Misfits Instagram account
Right.
to
Oh shit.
further
And it was
the beef.
right, and it was my fault giving him the password, but I gave it to him just because
To do live streams.
his lives were suspended. I said, just use the Misfits Instagram, no big deal. But then it just opened up a whole nother can of worms because all the people that are blocked from his account are follow the Delray Misfits, so they started fucking trolling him, and he couldn't take it, and then it just escalated. So then he started blocking people there and getting all butthurt, and then Dale was able to see what he was saying again because Dale follows the Misfits Instagram, so it just another shit show. That's all.
Yeah.
But he's taking a few day break, which is good for him.
Yeah, jeez. I mean, I'm 26. It's one thing if I drink and I go off on PJ, say this dumb shit, but when's this guy gonna,
Well, this is all new to him, For the last, 5, how long has he been on Instagram? 3 years?
About
3
that,
years, something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
Well, Well, as a fan myself, I think people like it better when Jay is, acting normal and just talks about the gym and lifting and gear and shit like that.
Yeah, he's funny
Yeah.
without all that, without his beef with Dale.
Yeah, right. When I used to listen, the best things I liked about it was that you get the entertainment, but then you learn a few things from each podcast about gear or whatnot. I mean,
But also, when there's a lack of videos and content, which there has been for a long time, any little incident or flare up like that gets magnified.
Correct.
yeah, 100%. They got nothing
And-
else to talk about.
Right.
And they antagonize. He reads every fucking comment, and they know how to get under his skin and get him to start talking shit.
Yeah.
They antagonize him. He doesn't realize that that's what they're doing, and he falls right into the shit.
Yeah, I could.
I
I understand that.
And they'll keep bringing shit up just to, throw gas on the fire.
So I was thinking about a product. We should get like a Phenibut and Kratom product mixed or something and call it Subspace. I was looking into packaging and
combination, but I've never really tried them together successfully. Actually, I really haven't tried them together. I don't think.
Have you been able to get more Phenibut?
Well, unfortunately, I was talking to Rob, and
yeah.
I got the free amino acid Phenibut, which is supposed to be better, and I wasn't getting the same effects.
What was the one that was sent to you that was real good?
yeah.
What was? Do you remember what the brand was?
Nootropics Depot.
Nootropics Depot.
That
Okay.
seemed to work better. That was the old hydrochloride.
So whatever maniac sent that, send some more.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I got the free amino acid one from Lift
and
Mode.
that did not seem to give me the correct results.
All it makes me is tired. I mean, I used to take it with.
I feel better on it, but I don't have that feeling I got when I was taking the other stuff.
Right. I'm the same way. Like, it doesn't make you want. The first day I took it and I called you, I felt it, but it doesn't give you that feeling where you kind of want to go out and be, wild.
Really horny and stuff now.
Right.
How do you take the Kratom?
I just mix the powder and water and
Okay,
drink it.
not pill form.
I
Okay.
do that as well, pre-workout sometimes, and I did it this afternoon, and I'm still feeling really relaxed on it. And
How many scoops and how
I
much
took two-
water?
I took 2.5
Tablespoons, right? Or spoonfuls?
teaspoons.
Teaspoons?
Like in a
Whatever.
coffee mug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like 1 or 2 spoonfuls, but you got to be
What?
careful with it.
Like a coffee mug. That
Coffee?
much. That much water. I'm saying.
The hell you think I'll never have a coffee mug? You can put that in print,
There we
Brad.
go. Leonard will never drink. We don't want to ruin those pearly whites.
The Martin Luther King, that coffee mug was shattered at the parking lot on Martin Luther King Day.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Kratom because, like, I underestimated it's just a plant. It's just this, it's that. One day I didn't take any, and I noticed I felt like I was having, like, drug
Yeah,
withdrawals.
you told me that. I felt
Right.
like, but you were in bad shape.
I was in bed for a whole day over it at one point.
It's
I felt
same.
like
It's
complete shit.
an
You
opiate.
seem to have bad reactions from everything,
I
though,
do,
man.
yeah, I do. It's
There's a
horrible.
chemical imbalance there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't get into it, but
But he's about to.
no,
Go ahead,
I
say
will.
it. Say it.
So yeah, the kratom I when I didn't take it, I had pain everywhere, all over. But I like the red more than the green. Today I took the green, so like I'm too wound up right now. But the red is more like relaxing, and it might have been what you had. I don't know.
I never took this high dose, but yeah. I
What do you
realized-
prefer, the green or the red? Or
I don't.
is there only two kinds?
There's a few. There's like green
Yellow.
Mangda, then there's
Oh.
green whatever the fuck.
Pollard sent a bunch of that shit. It was green, wasn't it?
It's good.
I'm getting it right now from a maniac who's supposed to start a kratom site, and every time he sends me some, he's like, when I have the site, just shout it out. You and Lenny shout me out. You and Lenny shout me out.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's good, but he's not setting up a site.
From where is it coming from?
I don't know, North Carolina.
Chance Estates.
It's probably laced. It's probably laced with something.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
Yeah, probably laced with grass clippings.
But that's it. Yeah, I'm disappointed with the Phenibut myself. I took it this morning at 6 in the morning because
I've
it
never
takes some
tried it.
time. And I used to take it with Adderall though, and it was a completely different effect because the Adderall this kind of like, you know, is more of a sedative.
You probably get hit hard on it, but probably the first day you take a good dosage, you probably,
Yeah.
because you'll be pretty much high for sometimes 36 hours.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
You'll
here.
wake up, you'll go to sleep in a deep sleep, typically. Not all the time. Sometimes you can't sleep on it. I remember 5 or 6 years ago when the guy at the muscle store was hooking me up. I was taking that 5 days on, 2 days off for 3 years straight.
Jesus.
And I remember those days off, I did not want to. I started not going to the gym.
That was recently. I remember you being off it
I
for the
remember I
for the
went to
weekend.
Publix,
Yeah.
which is rare, and you were talking to me, and I just couldn't even look at you.
Yeah.
And this is way before.
Yeah. He was bad
I
when he
didn't
was
want.
off
I
it.
didn't want to do my laundry. I didn't. That was a chore. But I would have such a deep sleep. I would sleep 12, 14 hours a day. Get up, eat, go back to sleep. And I didn't feel good until I.
That's when you were off it.
I would take it every day I worked, Wednesday through Sunday, and I would take off Monday and Tuesday. And I was taking it. I was taking a teaspoon with every meal. I was taking it 5 times a day.
Holy shit.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
I would pass out on my bike at home, or I'd stay at the hospital and talk to nurses. They'd be at the nurse stations, and there's nothing to do. And you got 6 or 7 nurse stations, maybe 8 to 10 girls, all girls. And I just go from one to the other, talking to girls, for hours. And I'd have phone numbers I'd jot down and throw them in my locker. I may be called 1 or 2 out of 40. My nose would run because I used to blow the snot rockets. That stuff, when you do it, make your nose run. So that's why I was doing this. You don't see me doing that much anymore. So.
Yeah, thank God.
But there would be snot coming out of my nose. I'd be sweaty. I'd be passing out on it. And they would just, didn't matter.
Highly addictive.
Yeah, it got to that point where I was addicted to it. Because if I didn't take it, I'd feel really down in the dumps. But I would expect that. It's like a feeling in your hand-eye coordination is in the toilet. Just getting stuff out to cook, you drop things, but 2 or 3
I wonder why
days-
your house looks like that.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days into the craving
Shit
usage,
everywhere.
your hand-eye coordination was so great, you could do stuff like I do stuff at work that were unbelievable. People would be shocked as.
Like what?
Working at, you got a workstation on an assembly line where the stuff's going on an automatic line, and usually people would work one station. I would do 2 or 3 stations. I'd grab everything and put it together, and be like that. And they were like, "How the hell does he do that?" But I couldn't do it on a day I wasn't off kratom. I couldn't even do one station.
Off kratom or Phenibut?
I'm sorry, Phenibut.
Okay.
But I got great performance.
Superhuman.
Yes.
So what is Phenibut? What is it?
It's a derivative of GABA, which is
Gabapentin?
GABA,
Gabapentin
I
or
mean-
whatever it is?
gabapentin's a medication that increases your levels.
Is it man-made?
I didn't
Yes.
like. I tried that. A guy at work had one. Gave me one of those. A fucking horse pill. I took it one day. I
you
did
feel like?
not feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just fucking out of it. I never touched that shit
The worst
again.
thing I ever took was Blackstone Labs Euphoria, and I thought it was great or something. I was seeing reviews. That made me feel so awful I couldn't imagine.
Really?
Yes, I felt awful. Not good, but awful. Probably the second worst awful feeling I ever had. The most awful feeling I ever had was when I was in Broward General downtown after I passed out on GHB driving my car down the sidewalk. Luckily no one was hurt. Luckily the car wasn't wrecked, but they gave me some type of tranquilizer that for 2 days, and I ended up just,
What is that? The what does it start with a T?
I didn't know what it was, but because I ended up just breaking out of the hospital. I was Baker acted, but what happened was I'm in the emergency room, and I was still under the influence of G. And I remember sitting there looking around and saying, I said, I don't think there's a person in this room that can kick my ass. And so what they did, all the nurses are looking at each other, and they decided to wheel everybody out of the emergency room and have me in there by myself. I don't know where they put these people, but everyone ignored me. A security guard wasn't called. And I kept saying, and pretty soon the room was empty, so I just got up. I think I had some type of restraint on my right arm, and, just ripped it right off. I had a shirt to the side, took off the gown he threw on me, walked out the front door, called a cab, $50, and went home. That's simple. I mean,
When was that?
that was about 6 years ago. And my mother had to.
That's not when you crashed her car, is it?
No, that was another time.
Oh.
So this is why I feel bad. This is why that last episode I had the day of the Diana Cadu show. I
That's
told
when
my
you crashed the
mother,
car.
I'll never ask you for your car again. And so this day I haven't, which is a horrible thing for me to do.
How did you crash your car that night?
I was doing Phenibut all day, the day of the contest, and I go up to Dixie's, give her some 10s up there, and blood sugar was low. It was, I don't know what it was. It was a lot of Phenibut, and it was a long day, posing and shit. And there's a car parked on the side of the intercoastal, this Mexican truck or whatever. I'm looking, and it's all I remember is bam, crashing right into it. It was parked.
Oh, Jesus.
So, because I'm driving in I was off to the side of the road, and I see this Mexican with the girl get up and start screaming like he's going to kill me, and I'm, sitting in the car, and it's funny, screaming, "You motherfucker," And as soon as I slowly got out of the car and looked at him, he started backing up. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? This and that." And he goes, "I'm going to call the police." He goes, "You all right?" Changed his tune.
Look at you.
Yeah, at the time, ripped from the eyes all bulged out.
Did you total her car?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. And the cops didn't say one thing. What did you take? I just said, they were just asking me because they saw my license with a fat face. How'd you get so lean? And we're talking about roids and this and that. Didn't get a ticket. Didn't get questioned. And they said, I think it's because I was carbon up. I had a blood sugar spike or whatever. And they say, yeah, that's probably what happened or whatever. You need to go to the hospital or whatever. I said, no. So I ended up walking back to, didn't see any 10s, walked down Dixie myself. I've walked down, every time I've walked down, me and Kalora took a walk down the night. They don't come out. The 10s.
They don't come out because you were walking down?
I think they sit in cars on those side streets and then they get out.
Wait to see who's coming.
Yeah.
Have you talked to him lately about his health?
Yeah, I spoke to him on the phone. I was concerned about his health readings.
Yeah, you said he spoke to you, on
He
Sunday?
thinks there's something fishy about it. I said, there's got to be.
Why doesn't he go get a second opinion then?
Yeah, he's going to.
He said he was feeling good. I saw he did a live. He said he was feeling good, is able to train.
Yeah, he's training people online, which is good. He gives good, solid information. So, and you think he traded that truck in finally. Got himself an SUV, secondhand. So,
Good for
I think
him.
he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, average number is 20 to 400. Mine's 6,000 or something like that.
Yeah, if a doctor said that, he should be brought up on charges. I swear, most of them, it's all negativity. They say this, they say that, they say this. I don't want to hear it. Fuck. If how many times I was told I wouldn't make 30. I'm told I wouldn't make 40. Now I'm being told I'll never make 50. I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in like 8 months. So what the fuck?
Big 5-0.
Yeah.
We're going to have a big party.
Yeah? Where? Your house?
Somewhere. Atomic.
I think we ought to have it at your house, Pomps. See what's going on over there.
Yeah, they were so they were so nice to post it. I saw that shit. These psychos.
What, they put your house on? How the hell they do that?
There's no privacy anymore. They can run your name through any county and find out what properties you own, all that shit.
What is your birthday party dream?
To die?
You want to die on your birthday?
Christina to carry me
Christ,
away.
Leonard.
To have Christina come to the party.
What about a Club Atomic party?
Not really. I'm sort of backing off that shit. Probably because that's dosage dependent. The more tests I take, the more I think about it.
When's your birthday? 8 months?
April.
So we have 8 months to plan your 50.
It's
He doesn't like celebrating birthdays.
Something.
Christina Broccolini is a hint. Maybe a party in Italy.
Find a lookalike.
There's plenty of them.
Sorry,
There's
yesterday
plenty
at
of
Palm
them.
Beach Gym, man.
Oh, really?
He thinks any Italian girl looks like
When I
Christina.
see a lot of them, I'm like, damn, it looks just like her. The hair, the nose. I don't see too many Italian girls. It's not like back home. They're rare down here, at least for me. This area.
Big 50.
So then you compete. You can compete with over 50.
Which will be nobody because they're all dead. Can't make it to that age. But I am because I don't listen to the doctors. Take a statin, yeah, really, that'll help. And that book that maniac gave me about how with heart disease, the one thing I'm guilty of is being alone. Not when you're living alone. And Andrew, I can say that's the number one statistic of when people die. Living alone, not having somebody living with you. It causes stress, and a lot of times
What do you
after
mean?
stressful events,
Dying early or what?
of dying early and poor health. Yes,
Just overall for
that's a very big correlating statistic.
Why does living alone cause stress?
The feeling of lack of support, possibly, or just loneliness in general. It's been associated with many early deaths, undeniable statistics, which that book explained. And Andrew Clore said the same thing. You read that somewhere as well. And another thing, stressful events are the cause of sudden heart attacks, which, as far as Juanita's case, when I look at the text I did with her that week leading up to her heart attack, it's, why aren't you returning my calls? Please don't turn your back on me. No response. And
You can't keep blaming yourself for that.
well, when I hear those trigger what was going through her mind. I used to go eat with her after work. It would take 5 minutes. Go right after work, go have some lunch, have a nice, conversation. She really had nobody, take her back to her little 1-bedroom dingy apartment, which I was telling her, look for a nice place, 1 bedroom, because she already had most of her stuff in storage unit anyway. And, I think that she just felt, this guy, he don't want to see me, I'm too old. Who knows what she was thinking, but I think that triggered it. And literally when they say heartbreak, that's a true medical anomaly. When people get their heart broken by another person or whatever, it does cause damage.
You think she died of a broken heart because of you?
Possibly, yeah. Worrying. I mean, why couldn't I have picked up the phone? I was feeling like hell with the symptoms.
Well, that's,
Why couldn't I have picked up the phone and reassured her?
Well, wasn't there time in the last 20 years where you went without talking to her for weeks or months at a time?
Yes.
Okay,
was,
so what the
she
fuck, man?
wasn't- She was maybe healthy or something, or she wasn't as close to me. You know what it was? It was before.
So you got closer with her than the last year?
I got closer to her because of not having sex or relations. I never had intercourse with her. We did everything.
Never?
But no.
Really?
No. And I told her once we get married, then we'll do it the right way. And she says, "Oh, you're such a gentleman." She goes, "I can't believe a man would say that to me." And I said, "Yeah, because it ruins it." We did everything but then it was a period of a few years where I think her health problems and menopause. She didn't bring it up, and I didn't really give it.
You
It
just
wasn't
liked
the
her.
primary
You just
concern.
liked her company.
Yeah, I liked her company. She was nice to cuddle with. Things like that.
Oh, you big teddy bear.
Well, she was a teddy bear, real soft. Very ladylike, old-fashioned. Hell, she was 65 years old when she died.
Jesus.
Tell me the history of Lake Worth, how it was segregated when she went to school. Very interesting. And how kids didn't do things. I mean, they were innocent. Even in the black area where she lived, they weren't like today. Kids doing this, doing that. It was way different down here. But they were segregated, and she remembers when they started mixing the white and black kids. There's a lot of fights. A lot of parents would come pick up their kids at school, too. A lot of white parents. And they used to all have to walk. There wasn't any bus, she said. They used to walk.
When's the last time you saw her?
I saw her. I picked her up at the dentist near Lantana Road and Congress in that plaza where the Pizza Hut is. And it was hot as hell that day. And she was sweating. And she didn't look too good. I mean, she looked nice, was dressed kind of sexy, but she came in the car and she just, I touched her, man, it was hot as an oven. And she was out, she had to she's eligible for that Palm Tran van because she's disabled, so she had to wait on this van to pick her up, but then
Disabled how?
Asthma, and she had heart problems.
Oh, okay.
And she was in a car accident and her back was messed up. But I could feel when I would massage her back, but it's like many women have said that I give the best massages. So even you said that, I think.
What?
I massaged one of your shore soldiers and you said,
Yeah. You got. Yeah.
Because I got very, very powerful fingers, and you got to get in there and break up scar tissue.
So the last time you saw her was a couple months ago?
No, about a month ago.
Oh, a month ago.
I saw her a week before I was hospitalized.
Oh,
And then that whole week after is when I wasn't returning her calls or didn't call her. And what made it worse was when I came home from the hospital, I didn't know she had died the day before I was discharged. And that whole week it was my mother's. I never called her. And then when I was Sunday morning, I was sitting, and then she called me Sunday, and I called you guys Sunday early afternoon.
That's right, yeah.
Told her I was in tears. It's horrible. I couldn't believe it. So surprised how bad it made me feel,
Well, a funeral will probably be pretty rough, man. You were ready for that? Did you went and got a suit done?
Yeah, I got a suit at the Men's Warehouse. The guy hooked me up pretty nice.
Nice.
I figure I'm going to need one anyway,
Yeah, it's good to have. You don't have any other suits then, obviously.
No, I haven't owned a suit since I was like 9 years old.
Does it have Blackstone Labs in the interior of it?
Should have.
They didn't make it yet, or they did?
I got to come in after work tomorrow. They did the alteration, so I got to try it on.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to wear it to the wake and the funeral, so sweat some bullets.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if that church is air conditioned.
It's got to be fucking...
I don't know, man. It's down this old, man. That's one of those old churches, Church of God. It's got stone parking lots. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
You knew most of her family or no?
I knew her sisters, all ex-strippers, as she was, too, when she was younger.
Oh.
She actually lived in Connecticut and New York, and then moved back here. She was told her she could make money doing it, and she made the money. This is before I even knew her. I didn't really know her until 1999. She started working at the hospital. She had these tight white pants on. I forget the first day. and a pink thong underneath the see-through pants, tall and thick. And she came up to me like a month out of work, and she just told me point blank, she'd be, "Why are you always looking at the crack of my ass, boy?"
Because you want to put your face in it, bitch.
No, she was jealous because I sort of, if a girl I really like, I stay back and ignore her, which works. And she was pissed because all those Haitian women would just grab me, you know, rub their ass against me, do all kind of stuff, say that, you know, my boyfriend, she didn't like him. She goes, "Why are you always messing with them nasty Haitians? And you're going to get sick." And I said, "They're all right." And she goes, "I wouldn't mind you, but I've been knowing you with them Haitians, I could never go near you."
No shit.
Yeah. And she was honest. I mean, she never ratted anybody else, and I saved her a couple of times when people tried to fuck with her, you know, because, you know, a lot of guys liked her, a lot of doctors used to hit on her and stuff like that. But
A lot of weird shit that goes on behind the scenes at hospitals.
there was, yeah, a lot of what?
With the workers there, like,
Oh yeah, it's disgusting. And what's worse is they're protected and they know it. Fire white guys like water. The few we've had get fired for no reason, even guys in their 60s. It's astounding. But they can fill each other up, threaten people with death, can speak Creole and threaten their life, and that's fine. Call you white trash, cochon, white pig, you know, white shit. That's fine. But somebody tells them to go back from Haiti, oh, they're reprimands. It's disgusting. Actually, that job helped my lifting. I was in such a rage working there. I'd taken out on the weights. I was, as many times I want to rip somebody's head off. And many times people say, "How do you work there so long?"
Because you would lift before you went, so you
Or
some of
lift
your
after,
aggression's
just-
out of you.
Just think about it, yeah. Got some ratty cowards too. Men, some of them Haitian men are some serious cowards. Run in their mouth. Corner them in the bathroom. I'd say, "You got something to say to me, boy." No one's in the men's room, you know. Try to go for the door. I stand there, push them against the wall. Say it. And then they run out and actually have the balls. "Big man tried to kill me." Well, that's my fault for working there, 100%. But I
That's
just
your
said-
fault for working there. That's
Yeah.
kind of.
No, I shouldn't have been working there. I should have.
You should have been a pro wrestler. Is what you should have been.
Well, at least that, or yeah, I mean something like that, or something a little bit more intelligent, and you know, then you do all the work and you don't get anything for it. But you know, I just love making those men because some of them Haitian men got it pretty good. So their women will take care of you. They really will. I mean, that one I was with, God, shave me, sit down to eat, bring me the food, the drinks. I don't get up. Hell, I had the neighborhood kids combing my hair when I had hair, brushing my hair. Cutest thing, too. But they were all from Haiti, all within a year or something like that. 2 years here at public school, they're fucking little devils or antisocial. But good morning, give you a nice kiss on the cheek. Remember, some of them would make cartoons of you. Cutest kids in the world.
Make cartoons of you.
Yeah, look at this picture. This is me and you. Give me a kiss. It's so good to see you. Like a little 5-year-old girl who lived across the in the other apartment complex. You know, close to Haiti. I mean, close to living there. But sure enough, once you went to public school, he wouldn't even say hi to you. Start doing rapping and shit. It's disgusting. I mean, that's supposed to be there's supposed to be a better country, better education. The thing about there is the kids do the work, not the adults. The adults relax. The kids cook. They do the chores. They fan off the adults. Where in this country, the adults make sure the children are entertained by taking them to Boomers or whatever, these movies all the time, whatever the kid wants to do. And seeing that, that's the problem. Because all those Haitian children, please, thank you, and they would sit there quietly with their hands folded. But the American kids that never lived in Haiti, they were Haitian, running around, throwing stuff, never ceased to amaze me. And you get your ass cracked over there, too. That's the secret.
It's a secret.
That's the secret to rearing children. The most respectful children I've ever seen.
Have fear.
Horrible being. Yes, that's simple. There's no other way to do it. And you spoil that
If they
kid.
know there's no discipline or
You
you don't
spoil
follow
that kid.
through with anything, they're going to
You're
run
gonna
all
have a
over you.
nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's tough if you're a tough parent because a school will spoil and miseducate your child with the shit that they teach them. And then, it's a nightmare. So I suggest a lot of parents keep your children over there. I've seen it. Here's where my proof. The Haitian girl that's my only girl left, she lives in Orlando. Her daughter didn't come to this country until she graduated high school. She stayed over there with her aunt all those years. Her son was born here. Son's smoking weed, skipping school, got arrested, quitting jobs, getting fired from jobs. What'd the daughter do? Came over here, worked 2 jobs, gave all her money to her mother. Now she married a nice man, has 2 kids of her own, is self-sufficient. What's the difference? One went to high school there, one went to high school here. It's scary, but it's true. That's why when I hear there's not enough funding for schools, that's bullshit. You need discipline. That always works. It's no big secret. And that Dr. Benjamin Spock's the one that started that bullshit. You have to be your children's friends. Famous pediatrician. Well, he was a communist. He was dead wrong. And that's why a lot of these kids are like that.
Yeah, man, it's tough.
Yeah, Dr. Benjamin Spock.
Yeah, now the kids know. You put your hands on them. They're called DCF or call the police or
for
tell the
what?
teacher, "Oh, my father spanked me," or
And
whatever.
There's a story the Haitian mother did that to her child here, and her child was taught that in the school. And I remember, like yesterday, Delray Misfits called her in. They took her on the loading dock, and they spoke to her. Her name was Carol. And she says, yes, I beat my daughter. She didn't listen to me or something like that. And a few months later, her daughter turned around, whatever. Then something else happened. Her daughter ended up laying down on the railroad tracks, shredded to pieces.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Probably pumped her up with some type of psychoactive drug. That's another thing. Labeling everybody as an ADAD. That's... throw that kid in the garbage. That's why I don't like those titles. I'm against them. I don't accept them. That's somebody's creation and opinion. That's psychobabble. Stay far away from that.
They love prescribing shit
Yeah,
to
and
kids.
diagnosing autism. That's another thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, it needs to be talked about. The world doesn't care about that. You bet you have to take your kid and make it into the best way they're going to function in society. It's not by giving them special diagnosis or labels.
Are different.
Everybody's different. You don't label it. You just simply say everybody's different.
I've read some theories that it's like part of the evolution of autism.
Yeah, it's the evolution of greedy fucking doctors. How to make money, and that's I don't want to hear about the Hippocratic Oath. You're out to make money. I mean, that's just whether right or wrong.
Big pharma.
Unless you're one of those doctors that go over to those third world countries, I could see that. Yeah, but then again, are they perpetuating the problem? Go over there and give them free stuff again. And what do? When you give them buckets of food from CARE,
Entitlement.
UNICEF, yeah, they go out and fuck. They get horny, pump out the 5 kids, and they're starving again.
Entitled.
Yeah.
World is going in the shitter, Leonard.
And then all the NFL and the sports suckers, oh, let's go watch them. Well, they spit on the country and say they're being mistreated.
So you gonna join the crowd that's going to Area 51, Leonard?
For what? Christina went to Area 51. I'll join her if she wants to make a Mystery Hunters.
We should start calling Delray Beach Area 66.
Holmes, what are your theories on Area 51?
I'm all for it.
All for what?
Whatever it is.
What do you mean?
It's a classified research base.
Yeah. Well, that means none of Pump's business.
But no one knows what they're doing there.
There's things you're not supposed to know.
But there's
Because Palms would panic.
alien technology is there, supposedly.
Yeah?
That's
Well,
what the raid's going to be.
I don't think anything looking like that has any type of technology that I want a part of. Why don't they fix their facial features? Because that's what they depict. Witnesses have saw things like that.
Yeah.
With the skinny ass arms.
Leonard's pointing to the
Great, man.
Why
alien
don't you get in a weight room or start eating
alien
some meat
bottle
there,
on the
Mr.
table.
Alien?
in the weight room.
You fucking freak.
They don't need the.
Did you see?
How do you know? They're atrophied compared to us. They're
Yeah,
not-
because they have the technology. They have the technology to.
See, Pumps, I understand in Vietnam they had Star Trek over there. When it was actually broadcast in the 60s, you were a big Gene Roddenberry fan. I know where this is all going. The Trekkie Pumps. You still going to the Star Trek conventions?
No, I don't go to that. There's a guy who worked there that came out.
The closet?
Okay, maybe. And said that they do have alien technology there.
So what?
What do you mean?
What's
So
that
what?
to do with anything?
People should know.
Like an example, like what type of technology?
Like anti-gravity.
We do that. They do that too. They have anti-gravity rooms.
Where?
They have them where the astronauts train at. Why don't you go up to NASA and they can put you in an anti-gravity room?
Do they really?
What are you getting at?
Area 51. That's where they
That
have.
sounds cookie cutter to me. We have what?
They don't have weights, Leonard.
They don't need weights. They have alien technology.
Will you
Supposedly.
please be specific?
Allegedly.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Why does it fascinate you so much?
Because it's from another universe, galaxy.
How do you know?
There's billions of galaxies. Do you agree? Do you?
That's what they tell you.
So maybe we could give them some trend and they'll teach us how to float. Is what you're saying.
Palms, you get too starstruck and fascinated with every kind of crap you see on the internet. Alien technologies. Or I apologize, actually, if you were in a bamboo cage for a good 6 years.
Yeah,
I
man.
actually think you're doing pretty good.
Well, what is
Fed mealworms.
alien technology? Is that like ray guns and lasers?
Anti-gravity machines.
No, it's because of the Netflix special Bob Lazar
Yeah.
Area 51
Did you watch
flying
it?
saucers. Yeah.
And do you believe that?
Yeah. Who the hell knows what to believe? He's one guy.
Yeah, but do you
It's
believe?
like how many people work there? Why isn't? How come nobody
Well,
else
one
will
of
come
the
out
things
about
that
it?
confirmed, allegedly confirmed what he was talking about was there were photos that were leaked from the 80s of the stealth program.
Well, and like fighter pilots were seeing flying saucers and shit like that.
A photo leaked of some kind of hand scanner. It was in that documentary.
Yeah, but
The stealth bomber was so efficient. Why was it ever rarely used in any type of air mission?
It was used all the time.
No, it wasn't. There's other fighters they use. They're more traditional. The kind you had back in Vietnam. Or the higher versions. The stealths are rarely used.
That was the B-2 bomber.
Right.
It was used in Iraq.
Stealth?
Yeah.
I'll have to double check on it.
There's video of it. They actually show you video of them. Stealth fighter F-117.
I'll send you Robert Frank's rant on that Area 51. He did a rant video the other day.
Saw
It was
pretty funny.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Send it to Palm.
All these fucking dorks, all the geeks going out there.
So you don't believe that there's alien technology out there?
There could be.
Okay.
So what? Doesn't particularly impress me.
Why is it being hidden? That's the thing. From us.
Because the cookie cutters will panic.
That's true. People would panic.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that they're suppressing it for their weaponized use.
Well, if it's a very efficient weapon.
Well, what are they waiting for to use it? Why don't they use it now?
They
if they
can't
have
duplicate it. They have it. They can't duplicate
Well,
it.
it's kind of like what you were talking about with the
Netflix?
lightsaber things, how they have
Netflix?
technologies that we don't
It's on
even know
Netflix.
about
Right.
that they're
Okay.
working on. Maybe that's some of the shit.
What are you, a warmonger? You want to be a part of that? Death technologies?
I'd like to see it. Wouldn't you? Should
You
be-
know, all the religious nuts will go crazy if they find out there's alien life forms.
They'd probably say they're devils or antichrists.
What?
You heard me.
We're not
get some-
alone. We're not
Well, they
alone.
get some American technology and put in a hearing aid. Start worried about anti-gravity. What good's that going to do you? We think that mail's going to deliver itself. They're going to throw it up in the air and just float
Yeah, it'll
around.
just float. You could just
Yeah, if they do that, what are they going to do with you?
universal. I'll get a universal income from the next president because we're entitled.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Universal basic income. That's the dumbest shit. Just hand people thousands a month.
Well,
Good
they've been
luck with
doing
that.
it. They've been doing it in
No,
that
but
African
everybody,
continent.
yeah.
They've been doing it in the ghettos here for years. You get lazy, fatter slobs. Because what's a normal human going to do? What happens when you feed cats? What do? They lay around, eat shit, fuck, and fight. Is that any different than when they do in a ghetto?
Cats?
Yes. You cannot talk to Meow Man when he has those cats up there. What do? They eat shit, fuck, and fight. Yeah, and kill things for fun. That's what they do in the ghetto. Because they're given things by us. And nobody says anything about that. Said a word about Area 51, worried about what your fucking tax dollars are going to.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Hidden alien technologies.
Hey, that's what they say.
They. I'd like to meet these
Bob
days.
Lazar.
Never heard of her. It's a charlatan.
That's what some people say. They say he's a government spy. Disinformation.
Oh, well.
So you're not supporting the Area 51.
Supporting what?
What are they calling it? Storm Area 51.
Good luck.
The only one I like is Christina's when she visited Area 51 on Mystery Hunters.
What'd she find?
She just saw signs that says it's enter in your own risk. And they were giving her a lot of... they didn't want to give her too much information.
I think people have been shot for trying to trespass up there.
Yeah, you can. There's a sign that says if you step over this line, they can shoot you. Because of all the.
And
about-
you have the same sign in your front door here.
Yeah. You're right about that. Worry about the government corruption more than that shit.
Shout out to Concentrated Nick.
Oh, yeah. Concentrated Nick's got to make his way down here and share some of those goodies.
Yeah. I sent him some kratom to try. He never tried it. He wanted to try it, and he said he was bedridden for a few days, feeling like shit, and then he tried it, and life-saving, he said. So.
I got to get some from you. I like to try it.
Yeah, for sure. I got plenty in my car for. I was gonna give the rest to Leonard. You can have some of it.
I'll give it a shot. Yeah,
Lenny,
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Bob Lazar is an astrophysicist who blew the whistle on Area 51. Now he's back to explain the alien technology he worked with and the government's war to shut him up. Because he wants to let the people know what's going on there.
I don't give a.
Government just kill him if they want to shut him up.
I don't give a flying fuck. To tell you the truth. You can explain that at your next Star Trek convention. You kiss William Shatner's ass. He's about the only one left. Although I did like the black chick on it. It's the first time I got a hard on. Was 4 years old.
She was hot.
When she had those black pantyhose on, up to her fucking ass hanging out.
That's alien technology.
All right. Any shout outs you want to give, Leonard?
Yeah, to
Area
Goddess
51.
Candy.
Storm the gates.
Jesus.
New World Nutritionals and New World Nutritionals. Thank you very much. I'm going to try to get in hold of you guys. I lost your number again.
Jesus Christ. Just DM them through Instagram. They have an Instagram.
I'm not too good at that.
Well, it's
And
time
Chris-
to learn. If you can look up hookers on Backpage, you can
I don't
fucking.
look up hookers and Backpage. I don't need to.
What's the new one?
Skip the games.
Skip the games.
Skip the games. Hey, yeah. Any fans want to send donations for me and Lenny? Skip
Book
the games
cameos.
adventures, please.
Want to make a website about me? I'll call it Skip the Gains.
Book cameos are a lot of fun. I'll give you a good personalized message that you need.
We got a few to do right now, too.
I still see businesses that say fortune telling on it, and some that near Brad's route on Federal Highway, fortune tellers.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you what you need to hear from what little information you gave me. So book cameos are a great thing for all of us involved. Like I said, we need to bounce off one another, and if anybody can in a positive way contact Christina so we can set up a meeting at some
In a positive way. Hey, she might be out there storming the gates, Leonard.
Yeah.
It's north of Las Vegas. It's not that far from Vegas.
Yeah,
That area
Italy?
51. Yeah.
From an hour from Vegas, maybe. Or a couple hours.
Why didn't you take them there instead of the Hoover Dam?
Next
Especially
next
Palm.
next
Shit, you
time
let
next
him
time
down.
next time.
He went there. I'm not stepping over the line, though.
He went to see the 1923 technology.
We'll send Jay over first.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be our shield. He could take a few bullets before he goes down.
Yeah.
They got alien
Palm, so
technology
you're a big
there, man.
Twilight Zone fan.
Twilight Zone? Yeah. The original? Yeah. I am too. It was good. Yeah, do the Twilight Zone. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I want to get the Lenny show back in going. Anyone who wants to help out, message me on Instagram. I just need I'll need to figure some shit out. Lenny, do you believe in aliens? Or other outer space beings? Yes or no? It's possible. That's a yes. We are not alone. The one thing that I've never seen but I believe in is Jesus. That's for sure. The other things, I have to see proof. I do believe, and many people have said online that when they came back and resuscitated, that they were literally on their knees and their life passed before them, and people that have died have come up and approached them. That's past memories, though, isn't it? No, and they told them, come with us. It's wonderful. You don't. So, no reason for them to lie. Yeah, but isn't that their brain? No, it's not. Who knows? Who cares? mom says this. If you won't die for anything, there's no reason to live. Remember that. Oh, yeah. 1 year service in Vietnam. Or whatever feels good, do it. I saw that one. I didn't like it. We do a Robzilla's face that says like cocaine hookers, something like that. No, you got your face on Godzilla's body. On the back. And Tren. Yeah, cocaine hookers and Tren. All right, good night, Maniac. Good night, Adam. We'll be talking to you in person real soon. Good night, fans.